Welcome, Aventers. This is Alexander777, and welcome. Today we're gonna be playing the last part of Sir Brante, the life and suffering of Sir Brante. Now I know that we technically finished the series last part, but that was a really special ending that I wanted to acquire, and I worked hard for it. So yeah, but that's not usually how the game ends. So today we're gonna do an alternative part, so we could get the last chapter. And I already worked on all the stats for me to get all that. So we're gonna start from there, and we're gonna do the final chapter too. So I said we should just get started, and yes. So okay, my apologies, guys. The mic was I had the wrong sound early, like the first 40 seconds. Sorry about that. So we're loading the game right now. This technically will be my last chapter. I hope that everybody can hear me well. My apologies earlier if the sound was a little wacky, but yes. So last chapter we finished the part 5. I mean, we finished technically part 4, but I'm calling it part 5 because this chapter is super long. Yeah, we finished Peace Time, and then in the last part we die alongside our master Ulrich. So, you know, we went all crazy. We became technically the right hand of Master Frollo. But in this one, instead of killing Genie like he ordered us to, we're not going to do that. So we're pretty much at the end of peacetime. Mere days remain before the sacred conclave, where Cassius' fate will be decided. After that, you and Ulrich will bring order to this cursed land. The Inquisition war has become the bulwark of the Church and the power the power you and your mentor hold over the city. You have come a long way. Your work is almost done. You enter Ulrich's room, but your mentor's not at his prayer cell. There is no heap of papers on his dead letters for an Inquisition of Eterna. You catch a glimpse of a torn envelope with Jean's name on it. Letters for Jean. Why are they here? After making sure you are alone, you quickly go through the papers. You see interrogations results, copies of letters, notes from sermons. On top of the pile, you find an ursur from the Holy Rite of the Third forbidding volume of Satis. This document exposes Ulrich as a servant of the will. With these papers, an inquisitor could build a case for the tribunal. So, have you examined all the papers yet, Alexandros? The Inquisitor is standing behind you. Sister Jean contacted my enemies in Eterna and asked them to send her these. As you can gather, she suspects us. This could be a threat to our cause. But she will not act until she gets the papers, so we need not worry. We have ample time to dispose of Jean. We will have to deal with Cassius afterwards, of course. Will you eliminate Jean? I command you to answer truly, disciple. The collar ties around your neck. Ulrich's gaze is fixed on you. So last time, we just did what he wanted. We put the entire city to our knees and we died by the twins. We also did some different choices, guys. My tolerance of fate's not as bad anymore because I wanted to show you guys the last chapter. But I decided that once we got to this bar, I also wanted to show you this. So I really hope that you guys enjoy this. Let me check something real quick. Oh, it didn't change. Oh my god. I'm so sorry about that, guys. Okay, I was just talking nonsense. Alright guys, so this is pretty much like... I'm just gonna show you the paper, sorry about that. So this is like the part of the last chapter like we did last time, so... Yes, we are gonna overcome Ulrich's will. This is gonna cost us 30 willpower, Inquisitor minus 2 power, but Father Ulrich will die by our hands. You gather all your strength to break free from your master. We are not going to listen to you anymore, Ulrich. We are going to become the leaders of this city, but us, not you. Kill Ulrich with your own hands. Ooh, okay, that's an achievement. No, you will not submit to his will anymore. You choke on your words. The collar is strangling you. Ulrich grit his teeth. Think again. Your disobedience is foolish. We're so close to our goal. No, you will accept his will no longer. Ulrich gazes cold and imperious, his voice remembrance in your head. Very well. I accept your renunciation. Die. You feel pain in your chest, your heart skips a beat. Hot blood erupts from your mouth, the collar's closing around your neck. You cannot breathe. Do not resist. It will only prolong the agony. Your body goes limp. Every movement requires more and more effort. Is this really how you're going to die? No. The collar shatters into pieces. You fill your lungs with air. Vigor streams into your arms and legs. There is no hesitation, no fear. Your path is clear. Nothing can stand in your way now. Oh my god, that's awesome! My god, look at that! You dash towards Ulrich, grab him by the face and jam your thumbs into his eye sockets as hard as you can. Oh my god, I'm brutal. A shriek of unbearable pain echoes around the room. You throw Ulrich against the wall. Die! Ulrich clutches at his chest, his face distorted with pain. A moment later, he slumps to the ground. The body remains in place. Your t-shirt has died. A true death. Bro, that is a messed up way to kill someone. I pretty much blind him, throw him to the wall with all my... And then I just throw him to the wall with as hard as I could. The next day is like a dream. You stand trial. Jean defends you at the tribunal using the papers from Eterna's evidence. She exposes Ulrich as a Willis, heretic, and a deadly menace. You are acquitted. You spend a few days at home, semi-conscious. The fight left you utterly drained. Your nights are sleepless. You watch the shining pillar from your window. Did the gods land that last blow, or did you compel Ulrich to die by your own will? You cannot say. The news about Ulrich's death spreads through the city instantly. Instantly. The people of Anisode are overjoyed as though they have all removed their own steel collars and can breathe freely once again. Oh my god! Okay. The ruthless butcher of the Inquisition is dead. Guys, I don't think I have ever killed Ulrich, like, with my own hands as an achievement. I play this game on the PS5 before, as you guys know. I don't think I have ever killed Ulrich. Like, ever. Ulrich death has deprived the Inquisition of a number of privilege. He has become accustomed to his recent years. Some of your fellow Inquisitors and Champions of Fate flee Magra, fearing the wrath of the nobility. Oh. Oh my god. You and Jean will lead the order in Magra from now on. The power of the Inquisition is in your hands. You rejected Ulrich's doctrine and sent him to the twins. Well, Ulrich, we have to continue the story. I'm sorry, man. Yeah. Have I read all these guys to you guys? I think so, right? I think we did at the end of the chapter 5. I could forgot, but yeah, Patriarch Cassius is like the Pope, you know. I'm not gonna read them in this chapter because I'm so sure I read this guys. Father Leonard is like the Grand Priest of the new faith. You know, Mayor Ekman is just like a rich guy helping the common people. This is like an officer of the mantle. I am clicking on that, so if you guys want to read them, please feel free to pause on the video so you could read them. Father Mark had like a different kind of religion, and he had like a different kind of like beliefs that he's kind of like an atheist. And Remy Alberman is like the leader of the noblemen who believe in an old tradition called the Duel of the Sword. Like the core of honor or something like that. Like, you know more about Remiel Verman if you play as a nobleman instead. So you also know a lot about Major, and you know more about Major Ekman if you play as a rebel. Like, a lot of these characters, you get to know more depending on the path you take, you know? Anyway, we're gonna keep going. Yeah, Father Ulrich died. And we lost Inquisitor power, but that's okay. That is definitely not okay. That is going to kick our asses on the last chapter, and hopefully we can make it to the end. But whether we live or not, we'll see. I am playing until the end. Ulrich's demise. You reject Ulrich's teaching and send him to the judgment of the twins. My apologies earlier for not changing the screen. Actually, I should definitely check. Okay. I'm just checking to see if I was checking to see if the screen did change this time. 8 years have passed since you returned to Anisode. For 8 years you have served as an Inquisitor. For 8 years you have struggled, facing trial after trial. The young seminarist Turin is no more. Only the you of today remains. All your actions, all your decisions have led you to this moment. There is no more time for investigations and interrogations. You have done all you could. Today, on the eve of the Sacred Conclave, will you be able to stop Cassius on his way to the Patriarchy, or will you have to step aside and bear witness to his victory? Alright, what are our choices? Denounce Cassius, Inquisitor power 7 or greater, which perfect. You bring the Patriarch to justice at an Inquisitor tribunal. Overthrow Cassius if we had like enough tolerance of faith, and then Father Leonard spending wasn't a thing, which is not. Or we could wait for the conclave, which is probably not what we want. That is probably the worst option possible. Let's look at our destiny. Yes. I'm just looking at the endings, you know, tolerance of fate. Then, yeah. So if we if we don't stop him, we're probably gonna get like a true death. And I don't mind seeing this, but like, I'm probably gonna see the way for the conclave on my own, guys. We're gonna denounce Cassius right now. You bring the Patriarch to justice at Inquisitor Tribunal. Yes. We're all about that Inquisition power, guys. We're all traditional priests. The Inquisition has become one of the major powers in the province in recent years. You have enough evidence to confront Cassius. Retribution is inevitable. Such is the law of the younger. You attach your Inquisitor's medallion to your belt and leave your monastic cell. Jean and Capitan Agaronim are waiting for you in the yard of the Inquisition War. A squad, on guard. Jean smiles. She cannot wait to take the floor. Are you ready? You're not. It is time to cleanse the sacred office of the Patriarch. The dawn becomes morning. The door of Cassius' home flies from his hinges. What are you doing in my home? How dared you barge in like this? Patriarch Cassius, in the name of the Sacred Order of the Inquisition, you are under arrest. Alright guys, we're in the tribunal. The Inquisition War is surrounded by a motley sorry guys. The most powerful people in the province are here today. The trial of Cassius is being held behind closed doors. Only migrant clergy are allowed inside. Crowd. You are acting as the prosecution by means of questioning. You are to expose Cassius before the entire province. With only a few minutes left before the hearing, Ginny walks up to you. Oh, we're about to get Cassius out of that throne, guys. He's done for. I believe in you, Brother Alexandros. May this day be a fitting conclusion to our years of hard work. The heretic must be duly punished. Oh, he will. Cassius surprisingly composed, sitting in the middle of the courtroom. You walk around him in a slow circle. silencing the room with a gesture. You offer a prayer to the younger and swear to be just in your prosecution. Cassius smirked. I'm afraid your oath is entirely in vain. The twins have no concept of justice. What did you just say to me? The audience murmurs in disapproval, but you raise your hand again and the noise dies down. Cassius, I'm about to give you the worst punishment that I can for not telling me I follow justice. You heretic. Your voice rings through the courtroom, piercing the tense silence. The first step towards unraveling the truth about the Patriarch was an anonymous initiation stating that Patriarch Cassius has been spreading discord among the clergy of Magra. He has led them astray, compelling them to reject the gods entirely. You ask the Patriarch if he denies this. Cassius speaks, his voice full of contempt. No, I don't. I put the priests to the test with my words, one after another. I mourn those who were still strong in their faith in the twin gods, for they will never know a better life. I welcome and instructed those who could hear me. Believe me, brothers and sisters, there were many, and there will be many more. Angry shouts boom from the audience. Heretic! We trusted you! Disregarding their cries, you continue your questioning. You must remain calm. Over the course of the investigation, the Inquisition established that Patriarch Cassius harbored a pyromancer. What was the reason for this? Suddenly the Patriarch sounds better. His voice loses the ring it had just a moment ago, becoming quiet and hoarse? Like, what does that mean? Hoarse. Horse. Yeah, I don't know what that word means, guys. Because of the first lesson Father Mark taught me, wishes cannot live in the world created by the twins. There is no place for them, neither in this war nor in the hereafter. It was my duty to give them a chance to have a life, at least in this world, to give them a chance to find happiness. Okay. The anger of the crowd is growing louder. You purposely refrain from quieting them down. Everybody in the courtroom must be overwhelmed by contempt and hatred for the defendant. The people in the audience do not mince words. Now you will burn at the foot of the pillar just like them! Witch lover! You deserve the worst suffering imaginable! Cassius casts a disdainful glance at the audience. In spite of everything, he remains oddly dignified. You continue. Patriarch Cassius has admitted to renouncing his faith and his service of the twins, but why did he maintain the image of a righteous old believer? Simple. I did it to support the schism within the church. The old faith, the new faith, they are both paths towards the cruel gods, paths that lead nowhere. Day after day, I pity you against each other, and even though I stand before this tribunal today, you cannot deny that I have succeeded. Without waiting for the audience reaction, you promptly ask another question. Why does Cassius hate the gods so much? Why did he choose the path of heresy? After we die, we must face them. We must face the prison of their absolute will. Only in this realm do we have a chance to oppose them. But instead, we continue living in that petty prison of our own volition. Father Mark discovered the truth, but he was too hesitant. We must defy the gods, destroy the idols, burn the books that glorify them, obliterate their names from history and build a new world. Oh my god! So this guy wanted to find a way to completely get rid of the twins on the people's minds by becoming a god himself, like they say. This is not how you do this, guys. You only have so much power about people's faith, and even though people's faiths have been shattered and kinda like moving around, you can destroy faith. Faith is something that gives people hope to be able to keep walking on the aisles of humanity. By telling people not to believe in God, You're literally making people not being able to continue living. We already had so many problems in the war, and this guy, oh man, I would hate this guy in real life. I would hate all of this. I understand his point of view, but fuck this guy. Sorry, my apologies for this kind of language, but no. Screw this Patriarch Cassius. Screw you. The adherents of the Markian heresy and priests close to Cassius have stated that the Patriarch was planning to profane the day of the Sacred Conclave. What was he planning to do? Oh, Inquisitor, I don't think you'll understand me. I was going to change the war. I was going to challenge them. The moment they appear in the temple to greet the new Patriarch, they would have heard me. I would have liberated Magra. And then, just as in the days of yore, the flame of rebellion against their war would have spread through the Empire. So, I honestly feel this guy was as bad as Ulrich, but probably worse. Because at least Ulrich believed in the will of the gods above everything else and their entire war, and that the gods, and then we need to respect, and be and bring the justice to the gods no matter what it is. This guy is just disregard the gods no matter who they are. And he wanted to be above them. I think he's way worse. The priests of the Old Faith exchange their marks in an agitated manner. Those who have known Cassius their whole life have trouble accepting the harsh truth of his betrayal. Yeah, no, it's messed up. Yeah, he just doesn't care about us. You call them to silence and announce that you have no further question. The Inquisitor demands the Patriarch Cassius be burned at the stake until his true death. The Patriarch cackles, his hoarse laughs drowning on shouts of the audience. I regret only one thing. Not being able to set this land free of the twins. I regret that the truth that was revealed to me remains beyond the comprehensions of others. I regret that I will not see their temples torn down. I regret that I will not hear the twins that flame by every living person. Alright, I have enough of you. You have said enough. Stop this blasphemy. Exactly, Leonard. I have enough of hearing this man too. Silence. Capitan Algorini, take Cassius away. This tribunal is over. Yeah, in that we're in agreement. Cassius is led out of the courtroom by the champions of faith, but the din of the crowd goes louder still. There can be no other proof than the next patriarch must be chosen by the parish. The clergy of the Old Faith have lost our trust. Drop it, habit. That will never happen. Heated arguments continue. You observe them perturbed. Despite your victory, you cannot chase a change of appreciation. Apprehension. Cassius' convention has not ended the feud between the new faith and the old that has been escalated for 8 years. How long would that Inquisition remain neutral? And what would happen if you are forced to pick a side? Oh, I know which side I'm picking. Jean, +3. Yes, true that. You deserve it. The heretic would face the judgment of the twins and the eternal torment at the foot of the pillar. Church. Fall of the new faith. Yeah. Okay, so these stats, guys, I will be honest with you, they don't really matter that much. The church matters a lot to me because I'm a priest, but a lot of these things don't always matter. It really depends on your career. So let me see, all this affects mostly the province, the church, the power, the well, the order, but it doesn't really matter until the very end. Right now, he says that if we get 3 points, we could make a fall of the new faith, which means that we destroy the complete new faith and everyone believes on the old faith. All nobility in power, so this is commoners versus politics, and the other is how lawful is the land, you know? Be the one to judge Patriarch Cassius. Yeah. You convene Patriarch Cassius at the Holy Tribunal. Okay. Let's see how we're doing. Guys. 8:30. So 30 minutes. So it took us 30 minutes to do this last part, which is fine. It's the last part. We are gonna be doing the last chapter too.
At last, the day has come which would decide my fate, as well as that of my family, and perhaps the entire Empire. The day of the Revolt.
Yes. Now, I don't know if I will survive the Revolt, guys, but I'll do my best. The Revolt begins. This event is consequence of your previous actions. Cassius faces tribunals. Okay, so this is the last chapter. Yeah, it's gonna be on the same chapter, so it's still gonna be probably a long one. But like, this is the last chapter, and it's honestly shorter than the rest ones. So we have died twice. We could still die 2 more times, as long as it's not a true death. The city is defended. Peace with the overseer. The surrender of the revolt. The revolt is defeated. The legion's defeated. The Anisode massacre. So I don't even know if I'm part of the rebels or the. I still don't know if I'm part of the revolt or the empire. Like, that's the first thing I need to figure out, because half of the victors are revolt, and the other one is like, through death. Oh, okay, family goals, like leading the revolt, the surrender of the revolt. Yeah, so it really depends of which the revolt's defeated, the legion's defeated, the Anisode massacre, Sophia leading the revolt, dark times, through death. The family's in the city. The family has perished. We don't want that. The family has fled. The family's safe. Okay. Escape from the city. Okay. Leading the revolt, the defender of the empire, or the rebel. Okay, I see. This is a new thing that we're getting, guys. I hope you get your side not chosen. I don't know if you guys can see this, but we haven't chosen where we are. The revolt, troops, and we want to have this kind of high. We have 1 troop, 1 noble, 1 clergy, and 1 common folk. So, you know, that's fine, I guess. Alright, let's start. After the heresy preached by Cassius was announced, the city plunged into chaos. You used the Inquisition to overthrow the Patriarch. Your victory over Cassius has strengthened the Order's position. But since the Apostle Patriarch was burned at the stake, the divide between the old and new faith has inevitably deepened. The old order has been shaken. The Patriarch's throne in Magra is still vacant. Taking advantage of the general confusion, Abbot Lenar persists in his attempts to assume spiritual authority in the province. That's not gonna happen, Lenar. The old faith's time has passed. He must make way for the true teachings. The new patriarch must be chosen by the parish. I, Lenar, am ready to assume this burden and lead you to freedom from the lots. The entire empire will eventually follow Magra on this path. Hordes of the new believers occupy the temple squatters and streets. They are joined by disaffected citizens, conspirators, and heretics of all stripes. The Inquisition uses all of its resources to rein in the rest, but it cannot pacify an entire city. You take command of a squadron of champions of Fae and prepare for the coming revolt. Okay, Sophia is leading the revolt. We haven't been nice to Sophia, so we're probably gonna join the Empire. Because honestly, I don't really trust Sophia right now. We haven't been helping her at all. The revolt +2, troops 1, nobles 1, clergy 1, common folk 1. Okay. Side with the Empire loyalties. Okay, I guess that we just sign with the Empire automatically, guys. Let me get like a cup of water, guys. Sorry, I was just thirsty. Alright, you take the side of the defenders of the Imperial government. Let's go. Defender of the Empire, victory conditions, peaceful victory, or a military victory. Honestly, I'm just gonna try to keep them high. I don't know which one we'll get. Hopefully we'll get one or the other. We want to have the Revolt as 0 on both of them. Power 3 or 4, minus 3 or 4, power minus 1. Common folk 2, common folk 1. Honestly, we're probably gonna have 3 clergies. I don't know about nobles because I didn't make it I didn't become a nobleman, and hopefully troops. We could just get some troops. Let's continue. Okay. Chapter 5, the Revolt. At dawn. For years now, Anisode has been simmering like a cockpot over a slow flame. The powerlessness of the simple folk, unable to change the old order, has gradually giving way to rage. Finally, this anger became stronger than their age-old submission to the higher states, and their fear of divine retribution. This rage was the spark that lit the fire of the revolt. All of Anisode's commoners have rising up in rebellion. Workers, artisan, merchant, beggars, they all long to break free of noble tyranny and the perpetual suffering that is their lot. The most daring among them have joined the lost straw. The secret society has sent an entire squad of trained soldiers out into the streets. They hand out guns and bombs to the people, weapons that give them a chance to wage war on equal footing against noblemen descended from generations of warriors. But the most dangerous weapon that the rebels possess is the people's score. The commoners have claimed the right to sentence their enemies to true death. What? Oh my god. The first nobles executed by the Lost Droid is petty knights serve as proof that these sentences are real. That's not good. So they can kill us and my entire 2 lives that I have don't matter. They can ignore one of my deaths. That is not good at all. For the first time in the history of the Empire, the divine force of the law is in possession not only of the noblemen but also of the common state. Among the rebels are many new believers. They are ready to take up arms to defend their faith and freedom from the laws. Okay. They are led by Lennar, the Habot of the Temple by the Silver Tree. And that's why I'm a defender of the faith, I see. Alright. Prophetical-born allegiance remains unknown. The Supreme Judge has taken such pains to give the lowly state more rights. Will he support a revolt that strives to do the same? Anisode has recently been rocked by a series of spontaneous assemblies and protests. The mob demands equal rights for all states and freedom from the tyranny of the nobles. The authorities must recognize the new faith and grant the commoners the right to choose their own lot. By nightfall, the rebels have disposed of the guards and taking over the city gate. In a matter of minutes, Anisode was under their control. It is the duty of the Overseer Gaius Tempest to crush the revolt. The Archnean nobleman feared for his own position and power, so he was reluctant to punish the rebellious city as discontent slowly grew year by year. But the ensuing uprising has left him no choice. The Overseer has announced a full-scale mobilization. In the morning, the Legion will march towards Anisode under his command and attempt to return the city to Imperial authority with fire and sword. The expedition arrival of the Legion is the only hope the nobles have left. Now they are locked inside the city. Members of the higher state, especially the old aristocrat families, fear the coming rampage and strive to keep order on the streets. Meanwhile, the Inquisitions led by Sister Jean is trying to stop the new believers and urging the people to reject the revolt. Both groups are aware that if the rest of the province follows Anisode into rebellion and chaos, the Empire itself and the divine order will begin to crumble. Okay, I see. After a nightfall, the city grows quiet. Its courtyards and squares are empty. In mansions and palaces, hasty negotiations are held, and schemes are concocted. In Dark Celes, the Revolt is being prepared and army units are gathering. Parish are getting ready to defend the Temple of the New Faith against the Inquisition. All citizens, rich and poor, common and noble, are arming themselves. Some with ancestral sword, others with cleavers. Anisote is preparing, waiting for the dawn. As the Legion arrives for the assault, the rebels assemble into militia and get ready to fend off the Imperial Army. But there is little unity in their camp. Their leaders are already mired in a power struggle. There are also defenders of the Imperial Order. Within the city walls, members of the old aristocracy, soldiers of the Inquisition, priests of the old pay, governors unwilling to defy the law and the twins decide. These people too refuse to lay down their arms. The first rays of the rising sun light up the horizon. This day will go down in history. Your entire life has led you to this moment. Oh, step by step, you have made yourself the man you are now. Your actions today could have altered the course of history, but you are ready to go the distance. What would have become of you by the time the sun sets? Okay, well, a lot happened. Okay, the Revolt's a 4. Oh my god. The first ray of the rising sun light up the horizon. This day will go down in history. Your entire life has led you to this moment, step by step. Okay, we just read this. You have made yourself the man you are now. Your actions today could alter the course of history. Are you ready? Yes, we are. We actually just read this, right? Well, we are the defender of the justice, so we're gonna be ignoring all the leading Revolt ones. Or the ones with Sophia being at the Revolt. The Revolt is defeated. Okay. The Revolt, you know what? We'll read them anyway. This is the most important event that will end this chapter. Only one of this will happen. We're gonna read them all, but we only care about the one. We only care about, like, the ones with defending the Empire. The Revolt wins a decisive victory over the Empire forces, and then Revolt 6 troops. Okay. Overseer Gaius Tempest is forced to accept the demands of the Revolt. Okay. The Revolts managed to fight back the attack of the Legion and hold Anisote for some time. The city is defended. The Revolts defeated. The Revolts suppressed by fire and sword. Anisote is back under the rule of the Empire, which is probably the one we're gonna be doing, honestly. Surrender, or the surrender of the Revolt. The Revolt surrendered to the mercy of the Overseer, and Anisote is back under the rule of the Empire. So it's one of these two. Anisote massacre. So this happens if you don't lead the Revolt and Sophia leads them. The Revolt, the Revolt surrendered. Okay, yeah, we just read that. The Anisote massacre. The Revolt led by Sophia wins at the cost of Renliness massacre. Yeah, this is like this is the worst ending, guys. This and this. Neither side succeeds. Chaos and disorder spread all over the Empire. Okay, never mind. This is probably the worst, but this is like the second worst. Oh, okay. This is the worst for us, but then it's two. Like, you wanna get one of the first 5. Through dead. Yeah, like we just accept through dead. We die 4 times. And then Defender of the Empire. I take the side of the Defenders of the Empires. Like, I'm pretty much part of the Empire right now. Okay, and as I showed you earlier, I showed you this, so alright, let's start now. Events that can happen in the Brante family in this chapter. The Brante family chased to remain in the rebellious city. All your family has perished in the fire of the Revolt. The Brante family hastily leaves the rebellious Anisote. The Brante survives the night of the Revolt. And we pretty much want to save our family if we have to, you know? We do want to save them. Deeds that you can accomplish on your chosen life, well, escape the city, you flee in the violent streets of Anisote. You succeed Sophia as the leader of the rebel forces. You take the side of the defender of the Empire government. You take the side of the Revolt. The Revolt screen is available, which I show you, and then we're starting. Okay, so this chapter is not that long. Like we just okay. Like we're in the morning. It's like 6, 9 events, maybe less. It's not that fast. The family's fate. This event's consequence of previous action. Okay. The first rays of the morning sun reached the windows of your family home. It will be so easy to forget about the impending revolt here within this old family walls, but the calm before the storm will soon be over, and yesterday turmoil will return. There are only a handful of hours left. The Brantes have to decide what to do. Should the family stay in the city and prepare to weather the storm? Should they join the struggle, or should they simply avoid it? After a sleepless night, you gather in the sitting room as a family once again. Father is the first to speak. He's determined, yet surprisingly calm voice fills the room. This is what I was afraid would happen. The noble state has turned a blind eye to the common people's misery, and now we have a revolt on our hands. It is my fault as well. I did all I could to serve the cause of justice, but it just wasn't enough. And now blood would be shed. The family patriarch casts a somber gaze over his children. I want to make one thing very clear. Today, our family cannot get involved in the unrest. We will not take sides. I feel for the common state, but we're not getting dragged into a hopeless bloodbath. As for preserving the overseer's rule in Anisote, we will not sacrifice ourselves for that either. He has led Magrat to this rebellion, and now it's up to him and his legion to deal with the rebels. And we mustn't forget Commander Oton and his noble militia. They're all too eager to use this opportunity to slaughter all the nobles they blame for the revolt. Father is silent for a while, then he takes his sword off the wall and places firmly on the table. His voice rings with the coldness of steel. We will stay in our city and protect our home. Whatever danger we may face today, the Brantes will not surrender their home, their status, or their place in this war. None of you have ever seen Father so filled with resolve, but he still seeks your support. Robert, the patriarch of the Brante family, meets your gaze. My son, I know you're going to make your own decision. You're too deeply involved in this conflict to just stand aside. But right now, I'm talking about our family here, Alexandrius. Our family must remain out of harm's way, no matter what you decide to do. Okay. Okay, well, our willpower sucks, so yes, well, we'll read all our choices. Agree with Father and protect your home. The Brantes will flee the city. We need to have Unity 6 for this, but Robert Brante fled. Alright, Father's right, your family must remain in the city and protect their home. You insist that Anisote has grown too dangerous, your family cannot stay here. Regardless of what you decide to do, they must flee the city before it's too late. The Brantes will oppose the revolt. You and Stefan convince Father to openly side with the Overseer and work to squash the revolt. Reputation 5, Robert Brante 2, Stefan at home. This gives us nobles. The Brantes would side with the revolt. You and Gloria convince Father to support the rebels and fight the powers to be. Okay, so Defender of the Empire. So because I'm a Defender of the Empire, I can't do this. Unity 5, Robert Brante 2, Stefan Brante cannot be a Gloria Brante at home. Stefan cannot not be at home. And this gives me common folks. 1. Robert Brante Rebel, Robert Brante Defender of the Empire, Robert Brante fled. Alright, we're just gonna get the willpower and the family's in the city. Let's just do this. You agree with Father. The Brantes need to take shelter at home and stay out of this struggle. It would be unwise for the family to take any side in the coming conflict. They should just focus on keeping each other safe. Yeah, I agree. You, however, will have to act on your own. This is a historical day. You cannot stay out of it. Soon you will join the struggle for the city's future. You have to get ready and muster all your strength. Father lets a bitter sigh and puts his hand on your shoulder. Very well, son. I always knew you have your own destiny. I hope you fulfill it today. Determination written in his face, Father stands up and buckets on his sword belt. As for the rest of us, we will stay home and stick together. Check all the locks, bore all the windows, and reinforce the doors. You say your hurry farewells to your family and leave them to their preparation for the coming storm. If they should find themselves in danger, you promise to come home and help them at once. But in your hearts of hearts, you are still uneasy. You finally walk up the door and head for the gate. This is where you belong now, on the streets where history is about to be written. Alexandros, hold on. You turn around and look behind you. The hunched, hapless silhouette of your younger brother appears on the steps. Nathan hurries towards you. The families in the city. The family stay in the city. Brante family just to remain the Reveille city of Nisode. Alright. By their will. This event consequence of Piero's action. Your younger brother stands before you. Clutching an old player book, he speaks slightly deeply, then begins to speak. I know you're in a hurry, Alexandros. I'll try not to take up too much of your time. As you know, my faith has wavered all my life. The twins know how much I sin. But even in my darkest hours, I knew they hadn't turned away from our war. I knew they still care. Nathan... Alright, Nathan is quiet for a moment, watching a tiny Anne make his way across the porch. But I just can't understand. No matter how hard I try, what's happening to us? This revolt against the Empire. How did the twins let it happen? Is this even possible? I mean, the twins made the whole war as part of their design, didn't they? Does that mean the entire war is about to fall apart? This revolt, what is it? Please help me understand. Nathan's sullen gaze rises towards the shining pillar, but thick gray storm clouds are already moving towards the city. The shining strip at the edge of the sky is growing dimmer by the second. You watch the sky too, lost in thought. What would you tell him? Oh man, honestly, we're about to go into the craziest war, and this is so important for Nathan to understand why the war is happening. There is no answer, but we will figure. There is no true answer to this, Nathan. But we'll see. We'll see how smart and wise our character is at the moment. He should ask the elder. Nathan Brante, hopeful one of this must be true. Only the twins themselves know the truth. Nathan can ask them themselves. Yeah, that sounds really good. The revolt is a challenge against the gods. Nathan Brante, despair. The war is corrupt and unjust. The twins need to hear the people. The only way to get them to listen is by challenging their will. No, I mean, even if I were to pick that, I would not pick this. The revolt is a threat to their design. The revolt is a threat to their twins' petty design for this war. It has to be stopped before the god unleash the wrath upon us. That maybe. Nathan Brante hopeful. The revolt is part of their design. The twins gave people freedom, and that freedom includes the ability to alter their great design. Nathan Brante hopeful. And then I need to have friendship with him. Walk away without giving Nathan an answer. You're not about to waste your precious time on your wayward brother's latest delusion. Dude! No! No. We were kind of bad with the Inquisition because we believe in the old faith, but no, man. You know what? Ask the elder, Nathan. Only the twins themselves know the truth. Nathan can ask the elder. Oh! Okay, so this makes him be hopeful. Nathan Brante becomes a prof. Yeah. Ask the elder, man. Gav Nathan found his own church of the twins. By their will, your hand comes to rest on Nathan's shoulder. You have always tried to guide your little brother to the truth, but right now only the gods themselves have the answer he seeks. But you believe that he has the power to ask the twins himself. He spoke to the elder once. Surely he can speak to him again. Nathan falls silent, dumbstruck by your words. He unconsciously touches the sacred symbol he wears on his chest. Alexandros, you believe me? You really believe the elder spoke to me? Yeah, I do. Your eyes shift to the silver tree. He has always stood over the city. He brings back so many memories. You recall the way you felt when you first saw it close, and then you speak. Yes. You tell Nathan you believe him, and you believe in him. Your little brother kneels silently. He bows his head and speaks a prayer to the elder. Nathan's body begins to tremble. His eyes roll back in their sockets. The sacred symbol in his hand burns with a silver flame. You try to call out to him, but your mouth will not open. Your lips are still tied. The air is growing heavy. Okay, damn. Time and space freeze. A few moments seems to last an eternity, and then it passes. Nathan leaps to his feet, his eyes wide. I hear him. I did. He's here, Alexandros. The elder, he walks among us. The elder's looking for an answer, just like me. He's calling out to us. He wants to know what happened to our war. He wants to hear us. I need to find him. Nathan suddenly stops in mid-thought. But our family needs me too, right? We got to stick together? Your hand comes to the rest of your brother's shoulder once again. What's done is done. He has seen the truth and it will never let him go. It is time for Nathan to walk his own path. He must find the elder. He must make himself here. Nathan smiles meekly and embraces as awkwardly as ever. I'll never forget everything you've done for me, brother. Farewell. Hell yeah. I probably shouldn't say that. That's the way to go, Nathan. Before he leaves, Nathan hesitates for a moment. He casts one final gaze at the family home, then disappears beyond the gate. He walks along now, combing the streets for a god-mare moment before they erupt in madness. But this is Nathan's one true path. Your younger brother set out on a pilgrim to preach his own teaching of the twins. Yeah. And we got Theology 20 and Eloquence almost 20. We're a prophet and we're about to be a great orator, guys. We're a prophet. Mustering the forces. The crimson sun slowly rises above the horizons. You make your way through a city in chaos, carefully observing what is happening on the streets. The rebellion is flaring again after a night of calm. Once again, the commoners are talking to the squares in droves. The green results in the rebels' eyes speaks volumes. They are determined to seize their freedom or die trying. There are others, however, who are huddling inside their homes, locking their doors and praying to survive the revolt unscathed. With every passing minute, you see more and more people carrying banners. They bear a hand clutching a lantern, the mark of the lost straw. The conspirators have left the shadow at last. They hand our guns to the common folk, using these last precious minutes to quickly teach them how to fire them. The artisans are of the streets too, cobbling together makeshift shields out of wood and nails to protect against the nobles and their blades. Fortunately for rebels, the nobles remain divided. The old noble bloodlines have sided with Dorius Othon. The Argnin has sworn to bring down the revolt by any means necessary. His noble militia now stands guard in the Silbit district, where the city's most eminent aristocrats have their homes. They represent the greatest threat to the revolt. Many nobles of the mantle, however, are all too eager to violate their oath of fealty and side with the rebels. Though ennobled to serve the Empire, they no longer want to suffer under the boot of the highborn Archnians and human gentry. But there are many more who are still undecided. soldiers and low-ranking officers of the Legion from the city garrison, officials and functionaries. They all have funneled themselves caught between the overseas orders and the people's revolts. Many of them are biding their time, hoping the Legion or the prefecture will spring into action and quell the unrest. But the prefecture has yet to react. The city prefect, Sir Elborn, still has no main clear which side he's on. Even the clergy has swept in the strife. Abbot Lenore is gathering new believers for a procession in the Silver Tree, where the people will elect a new patriarch. All believers, priests, and common folk who prefer to cling to lots and save their souls stand in opposition. Even the Inquisition, whose duty is to protect the Church of the Twin Gods against heresy, has been tamed by this Kishichism. The true fight for the fate of Anisode will begin in a matter of hours. You have had 8 hours to curry influence among the people of the city. It's time to put your connections to the test. Who can you sway to your side? Who would be willing to sacrifice their lives and fight for your cause? Alright, arm the new believers. You surround yourself with people who are ready to take arms and fight for the revolt and the new believers. Okay. Incite riot among the Legion troops. There are officers and soldiers of the Legion imprisoned in the city. They are but ready to fight for the revolt. Part of the noblemen. Tomas new life. Alright, so I need like Eloquence 16, but yes, I can do that. Battle of the Nobleman, not being a rebel, being a nobleman, having Tomas new life, and having at least 14 valor for. So nobleman who's a good nobleman. Assemble squad of rebels, part of the Lotless. You assemble a band of fighters from the Lost Straw, people who are loyal to you and you alone. You will leave them to fight for the revolt. The revolt 1, troops 1. Okay. Support the old believers. And this doesn't give me a lot. It gives me 10 willpower, which I kinda want, but I don't know. I should probably take these choices just in case too, you know? Support the old believer priest. Path of the priest, Torch of the New Faith, the Revolt, Theology 16, the Defender of the Empire. The priests of the old faith must struggle against the revolt and stop the people from violating their sacred law. Unite the nobles. Nobleman and noble by the sword. Nobles and troops. Right now the noble bloodlines only care for their own safety. You have to unite them in a struggle against the revolt. Yeah, this one is really hard. Buy the people's loyalty. Path of the Lotless, the rebel. 3 well. Minus 3 well, that would. Okay. Manipulation 14. Troops, common foe. Or we could just, you decide to buy your time and avoid taking a side for now. But we do support the old believer priest. Even though it doesn't give us a lot. The old faith in Magra has been left reading by Cassius' betrayal and discussion within the squid. 10 willpower is really good, guys. But I have to stay with this choice. Because this is us. We're a priest. We need to deal with priest matters. The true servants of the twins have been left without a patron on the day of their greatest ordeal. These few hours of quiet are your last chance to rescue your brothers and sisters in faith and earn their support. The rage of the new believer is terrifying. They have already begun rounding up priests of the old faith and handing them over to the people's courts. Mere hours ago, the rebels somehow obtained the sacred power to sentence people to 3 deaths. Did the twins really allow this to happen? You focus all your efforts on tracking down and rescuing the true servants of the twins. You find refuge in the temple at the edge of the Brass District, the same one where you first fell the kiss of the sacred lash as a child. Its walls are strong. The panic-stricken clergy will be safe here. Beneath the bolted ceiling of the temple, you feel their pain and trepidation. It seems as though all of Anisode has turned his back on the twin sacred will. Many of the priests insist that everyone should stay here and humbly watch as the gods decide the fate of the city without them. When you hear these words, you walk up to the altar and address the priests you have rescued. Have they all forgotten that humility is not their lot? It is their sacred duty to guide the people, and today they must lead them away from the blink of ruin and save their souls from a tragic error. It falls upon the priests to rescue them from eternal agony and avert the wrath of the gods. Your speech inspires the priests gathered in the temple. They will follow you to the end if it means restoring order and saving the faith. They are ready to preach on the streets and try to convince the people to lay down their arms, even if it means true death for some of them. Do you have what it takes to realize their hopes and guide them to victory? It is time to find out. The sound of gunfire fills the city street once again. The lull has passed. Trust. The followers caution support. Indisputable leader. Okay. The order divided. This event is a consequence of your action. It is noon. The wind drives the sand along the stone slabs. The Inquisition has gathered inside the jar of the war, but they are uneasy. The squishy within the church has split the order as well. Some of the Inquisitors follow the old faith, while others are new believers. Their contentious quarrel can be heard over the war stand fence. We need to stay in the ward and protect ourselves until the Overseer's army comes, but we cannot abandon the people at a time like this. It is our duty to stay within the faithful and preach on the streets. We need to show our support to the noble militia. They're the ones protecting the order. The rebels are fighting for the legitimate of the new faith. We're done being persecuted. It is the will of the twins that Lenar become priests. We cannot stop him. The ward doors open. Jean briskly walks outside. Enough! It was I, brothers and sisters, who brought the Inquisition back to power in Anisode, and you all know it. But now it pains me to see what we have become. I have never taught you to be cruel. I used to believe that each and every Inquisitor knew their sacred lot, that you all saw the wrath of the gods looming over so close, that you all knew that they could do to our war should we besmirch their design. But clearly I was wrong. The city is full of heretics. The Inquisition has failed. The time for talk is over. There will be no more wars, no more players, no more mercy. I am taking control of the order, and it will smite the heathens. Oh my god. Okay. Leonard will stop at nothing to become the new patriarch, even if it means defying our sacred ceremony. We will stand in the way of his execution. Not a single one of these rebels will reach the Silver Tree. But, Inquisitor, Leonard will have crowds of people on his side. The champions of faith won't be able to stop them. Then the Inquisitors will have to take up arms as well. The Inquisitors meets her word with stunned silence. Finally, someone speaks hesitantly. But what about our lot? We cannot wield weapons in battle. Did you realize what this means for our souls, Jean? Our lot? It is our lot to guide those who have strayed and save their souls. Even if it means our own souls must be damned to eternal torment at the foot of the pillar. The fate of our flock depends on what we do at this fateful hour. We must defy our lot and sacrifice ourselves to avert the wrath of the gods, then so be it. Jean points an accusing fingers at the Inquisitors who espouse the new faith. Capitan Agaronim, seize the heretics. The champions of faith do as they are told. They force the awkward Inquisitors to their knees. The other priests watch in confusion. We shall begin by purging this heresy from our order. Then we will head to the Silver Tree. Leonard and his flock must not enter the temple, lest our war be doomed. You walk through the gate. Jean's furious outdoes towards you. Alright, Jean. Convince her to spare the Inquisitors. Eloquence 20. And I need to have been close with Jean. I'm not really close with her. And I'm 1 point in that. Oh my god. Why is she like... Honestly, convince her to spare the Inquisitors. You persuade Jean to spare the new believers kneeling before her. Before her. Free the captives Inquisitor by force. You ordered your fellows to attack and save the captives. Okay, doesn't cost me willpower. If it doesn't cost me willpower, I'm probably gonna do it. Seize control, you and Jean take control of the Inquisition. The heresy must be purged even if it means violating your law. Yeah, that's fine. Revolt -1, troop, yeah, we want to decrease the revolt. Troops +1. We will lose 1 minus clergy, but that's fine. Stop Jean. You convince Jean to change her mind before she violates her law. I wish I could do the convincer her. Because the convincer her would be really good. Oh, we cannot be defender of the Empire. Never mind. Do not get involved will give us willpower, but it will make the revolt harder to kill. Accept dead. Let's just steer control of the order. You convince Jeannie to change her mind. You let Jeannie decide for herself. You are one of those who Jean seek to destroy. You cannot escape the fate. I am with you. We are both doomed to our sins. You take step forward and raise an arm. The Inquisition all look at you. It is true, you said. Everything Jean has said is true. There can be no doubt. Leonor is a heretic. No matter how many people he has on his side, the Inquisition must not let him usurp the patriarchy and sully the sacred right. If the order falters now, the hordes of new believers will lead Anisota to ruin. These people want nothing more than to annihilate the faith and destroy the divine design. Now more than ever, the Inquisition must be resolute and ruthless. We must uproot any and all apostasy. And we must take up arms in violating of our law. We must not fear. The sword is a symbol of the younger, of his just and merciless law. By his law we as priests will doom our souls by wielding weapons, but the souls of our flock would be safe, and the twins, the divine design will remain inviolated. But were we to let the war burn in the flames of the wrath of the gods, that would truly be a betrayal of our lot. Your passionate speech erases the last of doubt in the hearts of your fellow all believers. Execute the heretics. Purge their name from the order. The kneeling Inquisition bows their heads, knowing their lives are forfeit, but some are still screaming, "You cannot destroy the true. The old believers, the old faith is dying. You will be the ones punishing by the twins. You're interfering with the freedom they gave us." You cannot destroy the true. The old faith is dying. You will be the ones punished by the twins. You're interfering with the freedom they gave us. Silence! In the name of the younger, I condemn you all to true death for betrayal of the church and blasphemy against the twins. May you meet eternal torment at the foot of the shining pillar. Captain Agarane, carry out the sentence. Swords fly through the air. Silence blocks in the sand. The Inquisitors fold their hands in prayers as they watch the bodies of their brothers and sisters collapse. Yeah. Honestly, we could have stayed out of it. We would have been the same results. They were dying. The apostles are gone. From this day forward, Inquisitor Brante and I will lead the order. Inquisitors, draw your swords. The unthinkable has happened. The priests have bear their weapons, not to consume the sacred rites, but do battle. They will follow your orders. On war, Inquisitors, with more hurry to the Silver Tree and block the path of Lenner's procession. They must not reach our holy site. Jean takes a moment to catch her breath. She turns to you. You got here just in time, Alexandros. I was afraid our brothers and sisters wouldn't have the courage to do their duty, but you were able to push them in the right direction. I'm glad to know I won't be all alone when I doom myself to eternal torment. Yeah, I guess I also doom my soul on this choice to eternal doom and for following Master Ulrich all this time. Suddenly a flustered priest runs through the gate. Doris Sutton and his noble militia. They're going to the prefecture to execute Sir Elborn for treason. I don't know if I'm gonna say Sir Elborn, guys. There's still time. If you play your cards right, you could make new allies and eliminate enemies. You're right, we have to split up. Take your people to the prefecture. I'll take the champions of fate to the Silver Tree. Lenner's procession's about to move. I'll hold off the heretics until you come to my aid, Alexandros. Yeah, absolutely. You and June proceed through the gate and out the war, followed by the army you have created. The commoners on the street freeze in terror at the sight of the priests of the Old Faith walking past them, swords in hand. As Jean defiled her priest lot and took up arms. Yeah, so our family hasn't changed much, but some of the characters have. Like Sophia looks different. Jean also looks different. Yes, I mean, I'm pretty sure that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Jean looked different previously. She had like the. Yeah, so Sophia, Jean. I forgot who else, but. I forgot else who changes how they look, but I think those two only for me because. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Sophia and Jean are the ones who kind of change. Alright, Jeannie, let's do. Doom for her sin. Jean defiled her priest a lot and took up arms. Honestly, yes. But it's literally life and death situations, and we're doing everything so the fate doesn't change. Skepticism -1 again. The Revolt -1. Rebels are losing. Yeah, we won this. We won 0. Troops -2. Clergy 1. We also need to find ways to get freaking willpower if we can. Yeah, like I said, guys, this is like a short chapter. Kinda like a short chapter. The prefecture under siege. The searing sun looms high in the sky above the rebellious city. The square in front of the prefecture is packed with commoners. Just a moment ago, they boldly demand that the judges and gendarmes side with the rebellion, but now they are terrified. They fear the noble army that is coming for them. Their calls for rebellion are gone, replaced by frightened screams. Hoops thunder against the cobblestone. The earth quakes beneath their feet. The noble militia led by Doris Sutton course a path through the human sea. The terrified rebels scatter as the raider approached. The gendarmes remain where they are, forming a tight circle around the prefecture and Elborn. Now, for those ones who don't know, guys, Prefecture Elborn is pretty much like the mayor of the city. Like, he's kind of like the big, like the grand judge who decides everything that happens. And Sir Oton, Doris Oton, is considered to be like the best knight by the Empire. He's the strongest duelist in the Empire. He's also like pretty corrupt, and he believes all in the old faith. Like, he's part of Charmin Lanida's kingdom, and he's always been believing in the old ways. The prefect calls up to the crowd, his voice in hoarse. Everyone, stay calm. Yeah, I'm just saying that for those ones who don't know. Like, so, yes, like, everything is going crazy now. Everyone stay calm, let them go through. Do not draw your weapons. Otton's rider pushed the mob aside and eventually reached the tall building. The Arcane commander draws in his reins only when the gendarmes all that separate him from the prefecture stairs. Prefect Elborn, how dare you disobey the orders of the province's rightful rulers? You have abused your position to appease the rebels and defy imperial rule. This incomprehensible rebellion is your fault. It's time for you to accept your well-earned punishment. In the name of Archduke Menolides, I hereby order you and your gendarmes to surrender your weapons. The Supreme Judge of this prefecture maintains his composure in the face of this recrimination. I only obey the laws of the Empire, Sir Otton, not you or your runaway Archduke. Ooh. Otton's face contorts into a predatory grin. Excellent. You had your chance to save face, old man. Instead of a dignified execution, you and your cronies will hang like the full rabble you betrayed us for. Otton lifts his sword skyward, prepared to order an assault. The riders behind him are about to attack. The gendarmes ready their clubs. Their hands are trembling. They will not stand a chance against the noble cavalry. The mob begins to shift, about to flee the square. The fate of this moment hangs by a thread. Let's look at our options, but we only have two. Pretty much we can only pick two. Rouse the mob and encourage them to defend the prefect. I'm only saying all the choices, guys, just in case you want to play the game in the future and you guys want to see what the options are. Elborn has always protected the common folk. Now it's time for them to protect him. You have to be like, you have to be a rebel for that, not defender of the Empire. Common folk. You also need like common folk 2 for it. 0 willpower. It costs willpower to do it. Get Otton's army to abandon him. Now, this is if Otton's sentence. You also have to be a rebel. Otton has been stripped of his rank. You season with the nobles and convince them to abandon their leader. Challenge Otton to a duel. Otton faces the Court of Honor. You are a defender of the justice, so you fight your own. You fight Otton even though you're a nobleman. It is time to settle your feud with Otton once and for all. Otton has been stripped of his rank. Yeah, we just read that. Overthrown Elborn. Otton didn't face the Court of Honor. You cannot be a rebel. It will cost you some willpower. Wait, what? Wait, we don't want to do this, do we? No, because if we do this, we get noblemen, but the revolt gets stronger. You help Otton bring the prefect down for good. Is that good? Get Otton and Elborn to honestly, part of me just wants to reconcile. I mean, is this good that the revolt is getting... I don't know. If, like, is getting the revolt stronger a good thing? If we throw him down, we get noblemen on our side. Oh my god. It doesn't cost us willpower. You observe their conflict as an indifferent bystander. I guess this should be fine, but... you know what? Let's get some noblemen. Let's screw it. I don't know. Like, we don't have anything to do with, like, we really didn't do much with, we didn't really do much when it came to like, Sir Elborn. And he is technically a good guy. If we don't do anything, Elborn dies. Well, I mean, Elborn's gonna die either way. Alright, might as well get some friendship with Doris Otton. I don't know, man. The Prefect and his gendarmes are enemies of the Empire, but there is no way you will let Oton be the one to bring them down. It is time to reveal your honor and strength and show everyone who's the true defender of the Empire is. At Oton's command, the noble militia surges forwards to crush the Prefecture's defense. Alborn retreats to the door and takes cover behind the story walls, escorted by Severo gendarmes. Cut down the traitors! No mercy! The cavalry turns to face the gendarmes with an onslaught of sharp steel. Bones scrap beneath hoops, swords slide through the air. Then stench of blood fills the square as fallen bodies dissipate into glimmering dust. While Oton and his army are engaged in the battle, you led your men around the building. Unseen, you invade the prefecture through the windows. Once inside, you barely encounter any resistance. The remaining gendarmes quickly drop their weapons or fall to your blades. You guide your men to the stairs to the prefect's office. It only takes a single blow to smash the hinges. You too, Brante. I watched you grow. I consider you family. You do not even dignify Elborn's plea with a response. Your warriors quickly bind him and drag him into the balcony. From high above, you present the captive prefect to the mob. Elborn has been captured. The rebellious prefecture has lost his leader. The time has come for all the traitors scheming against the Empire to surrender. The commoners gather below you, scattering terror. Their ever-present guardian has been taken by the enemy. The square is soon empty. Down below, the gentlemen falter against the force of the noble cavalry. They throw down their weapons and flee. The noble riders showered you with praise. Even Oton acknowledged your accomplishment through clenched teeth. I could have taken the traitor by myself, of course, but the deed is done. Bring him here. The noble militia takes the captured prefect from you. Time to die, Elborn, but I am no butcher. You may be a traitor, but you are still known as a man of honor. You deserve a nobleman's justice. So draw your soul, Elborn. It is time for you to learn that the core of honor is the only true trial. Elborn means Oton's words with a bitter chuckle. The old man does not stand a chance against one of the most skilled swordsmen in Magra. Actually, I would say he's the most skilled swordsman in Magra. Unless you become a nobleman, that you could become this more skillful than him. I think him and our brother Stefan are the strongest swordsmen in Magra. Dying in a barbaric ritual I fought against all my life. I suppose there's no changing this world after all, is there? Oton and Elborn cross swords. Elborn has grown accustomed to holding a sword and it shows. The prefect stand leaves much to be desired. He waits the blades around clumsily, leaving himself open to an attack. With a single riposte, Oton guides his blade straight into the old man's heart. Just another arrogant human. All this trouble just because of him. As for the gentlemen, kill them. A lesser death suits them well. These rebellions will be dead and buried by the time they make their way back from the hereafter. Please listen to us, Captain Linnet. The noble rights quickly cut the prisoners and entreaties and last shores. Their uniform bodies fall under stairs of the prefecture, soon evaporating into a cloud of glistening mist. Thanks to you, the prefecture is no more. Elborn and his gentlemen have been removed from the equation. They will not be there for the final clash. Oton gets back into his saddle and looks down on you. You are an arrogant upstart, Brante, but you've proven your allegiance well enough. With the tip of the sword, Oton points at the silver tree looming in the distance. Leonard's procession of new believers must have begun by now. They will defile the great temple at the silver tree and name that heretic the new patriarch of Magra. I hope you realize the threat this represents. If you are indeed a loyal servant of the Empire, you know what to do. Hit there and deal with it while I muster my forces to rout the rabble at the city gate. Once the last few gendarmes have been dealt with, Oton rides away with his cavalry, scattering the pathetic remnants of the rebellious mob. The fate of the feud between the two fates will be decided by the clash at the Silver Tree. You have to be there. You ready your men and head for the temple at the tree. To sympathy. We got friendship with him. Augustine Elborn. You die in a combat against him. Discontent. All nobility almost in power. Yeah, I don't know why we got Revolt for this, but like we still got a nobleman, so maybe having nobles is good. The March of the New Faith. An enormous sea of humanity flows through Anisode, filling the street of the Temple District. They are led by Abur Lanar. Alright. The new believers walk peacefully behind him, many of them women and the elderly. They are unarmed. Their faces show neither fear nor anger. They are so drastically unlike the throngs of rebels who are currently ransacking streets and looting noble houses. The procession slowly makes its way towards the temple at the Silver Tree. The temple has always been where patriarchs of the church accept their sacred duty, along with the heavy burden of responsibility for the flock before the twin gods. When a patriarch speaks, the twins pay heed, and every 8 years it falls upon the patriarch to proclaim in their sight how their word is humbly following the laws it has been given. Long, long ago, the twins descended to our war. The patriarchs came to be elected as the conclave by the clergy. This tradition has continued for many years. Today, dozens of priests have come to the temple in spite of the unrest to conduct the rite and spare the twins' ward from the wrath. But now thousands of commoners are walking to the same temple to elect the new patriarch themselves. You and your followers take a side street to the temple, abiding the immense procession. Soon the square by the trees is packed, teeming, overwhelmed, but the stairs to the temple doors cannot be reached. A stalwart phalanx of champions of faith blocks the way, with Jean in the lead. They are joined by the Inquisitors, those who have decided to walk the path of the old faith until the very end. I will not allow you into the temple, Lenar. These heretics will not make you patriarch. Father Lenar slowly begins to ascend the stairs. He does not argue with Jean. The abbot simply faces her with a humble smile and gestures at the people standing behind him. Doubt clouds at the champions' faces. Lenar's procession is truly staggering. Even if they are mere commoners, even if they are unarmed and empty-handed, these are simple to many of them to be stopped by a few dozen believers. Sister Jean, look at them. Are they truly heretics? All of them. They are just people, our brothers and sisters in faith. Why would the Inquisition treat us like enemies? We do not reject the twin gods. Nay, we seek them. Nay, we seek them with our every thought. You reject the law of the younger when you chose to seek your own laws. No, Jeannie. The only thing we reject is I cite this error. This argument has been going on for years, Lenar. I know each and every point you can make. Don't even bother. You will not enter the temple. And all these people, you're just dragging them down the foot to the pillar along with you. How can you still not understand? It's after so many years. What do you think you're doing, Lenar? Don't you fear the wrath of the gods? I do not, Jeannie. When I became patriarch, I will tell the twins that we still love and revere them, just as we always have, even as we seek a different path to them. The twins will hear us. They will listen. They will understand. There will be no wrath of the gods. The new believers at Lenar's court. They begin to firmly ascend the stairs to the door of the temple. The champion swords do not deter them. Guys, this is so interesting because it is such a strong conversion of faith and beliefs. Like, this is kind of like if you believe in the old faith, you believe the new faith, the New Testament, the Old Testament. This is such heavy stuff because he believes he's doing the right thing by being a good person, but none of these people. Jean, you could argue that Jeannie is like in the wrong here by staying with her beliefs of following the old faith, but I would disagree because she's following her own path by always following the teachings of the books, by going by the book. This is how exactly it is. But Leonard wants to find a way to save everyone. And because the twins are both the elder and the younger, there is like some kind of conflict already in that aspect. But I both think they're right in their own way. Now, it is possible to say that there was an error on the old books, but it's also possible that there was never been an error, and that can go with any fate in general. It's just outstanding. It's just outstanding what we're facing here. She raises an arm about to give her final order. Champions of Fate, protect the sacred temple. Fight to the bitter end. You reach the foot of the stairs as she speaks these words. This is your last chance to intervene. Okay. Oh my god. Okay. Let's look at our choices. We actually got 3 choices here. Lead the procession to the temple. Leonard will become patriarch. The clergy will support his candidacy. No. Cassius overthrown, torch the new Fae, or either one of them. Stand with Jean and drive the procession away. Troops 1. Oh, we can't do that because she needs to be righteous too. Okay, we can't do that. Allowing the common folk to elect the patriarchs and affront to the twin gods. The Inquisition and the clergy will never let that happen. Yeah. And we get a lot +1. Father Leonard defeated. Save the new believers from bloodshed. We need to be a rebel to save them. Willpower -5. Father Leonard defeated. Jean dies. You need to try to get these people away from the temple. You need to drive the commoners away from the sacred temple. No. -3 revolt. That's insane. That's insane. Oh my god. You need to drive the commoners away from the sacred temple, which will cost us willpower. Jean will be defeated. Father Leonard will die. This one, Father Leonard will die still. Or we could just walk away. Jeannie would be buried alive, and Father Leonard will die. My god. You're staying out of this. The fate of the Fae will be decided. No. This is horrible. Alright, well, I don't have a lot of willpower and I'm saving it for an emergency. Even though I would like to fend up the Champions of Fate. I mean, do I even want to? Because you need to. Because these commoners are trying to get to the church no matter what, but no, not really. I think me and Jean are doing the right thing too. Alright, it will be bloody. You will protect the one true Fae, even if it leads you to the foot of the pillar. Yeah, we're already doomed for our sin. That's what they said anyway. At least in the game, you know, we already kind of screwed up. I don't mean no, we don't really screw up. We chose to save our city from the war, from the revolt, from the rebels. And we have to do this. Order the priest to attack. You will protect the one true Fae, even if it leads you to the foot of the pillar. -2 church. Minus order, minus power. We will lose the common folk, but we will get noblemen and clergy. Yeah, order the priest to attack. Yeah. Your ceremonial blades rises skyward. You stand by Jean's side. No mercy for the new believers, heretics. Inquisitors of Magra, attack. The Inquisitors behind the champions echo your battle cry and draw their swords. If you must doom your souls to an eternity at the foot of the pillar, then so be it. You will sacrifice yourself readily to defend the true faith. We became Templars, guys. We officially became Templars now. This is it. Righteous people of justice, fighting in the name of God, our God, technically, but yeah, we're Templars. Or the definition of what Templars would be here. As stunned scream echoes from the mob, the priests are taking up arms. They can be. Follow Inquisitor Brante, brothers and sisters in faith. In the name of the younger, the heretics will be punished. The champions of faith get into formation and begin advancing on the new believers. What? I'm sorry guys, just... Sorry guys, my phone just turned off randomly. I don't know why. The champions of faith get into formation and begin advancing on the new believers. Weapons in his hand. The unarmed mob recoils in fear, but those in the front row are pushed from behind and driven into the blades. Oh. Blood spatters into the stairs of the sacred temple. A woman screams of rage rends the moment silent. Murderers! Chaos break loose. The champions of faith try to advance on the people, but the enraged horde will not be driven back. They rush at the warriors, trying to break the ranks by sheer force, dragging or knocking them to the ground one by one. No! Stop! Do not do this! Do not resort to bloodshed! The abbot does his best to rein in his flock, but they will not listen. You shout to your followers now. The Inquisitor under your command joined the fight, side by side with the champions of faith. You try to hold back the commoners. It is an arduous task. They are unarmed, but they greatly outnumber you. Hold the line. You fight on the front lines, knowing full well that every strike of your weapon is a betrayal of your priestly lot. The sword given to you for the sacrament now strikes the new believers down one by one, their blood drenching your cassock. A spear suddenly emerged from the horde, about to stab you. You cannot dodge it, but Jean stands his way. A swing of her sword slices your attacker open. Behind you, an Inquisition rises thin, silver slabs and shouting incantations. Furies of silver fire spread across the front lines of the justering mob, blinding them with the power of the twins. They collapse, but others immediately take their place. Hold the line. Every minute of this fight feels like an eternity. Eventually, the furious onslaught seems to subside. You catch a glimpse of Jean. She breaks the line and dashes forwards with a fearsome cry. She's headed straight for Leonard. The abbot struggles to remain on his feet. In the frenzy humans store against around him, it takes him a moment to notice Jean, her ceremonial blade raised aloof. Leonard meets her with a confused look. His arms move slowly, trying to shield his face, but it's too late. But at the last possible moment, the rage of Jean's face gives way to a terror. My child. A mighty gust of wind rushes over the square. It roars hard, almost screams with wrath. The twins are here. You scream to Jean over the din of combat. There is no room for that now. The twins' guts are washing. It is time to meet our justice. The terror in Jean's face disappears, replaced by fierce determination. Her pain, filled with roar, meshes with the howling of the wind. Die in the name of the younger, Leonard. The twins know you gave us no choice. The Inquisitor strikes. Her sword cleaves the old man's flesh. Leonard's white cassock turns crimson with blood. The abbot is gone forever. The wind grows, gaining its strength, becoming a furious, merciless vortex. He howls louder and louder as he sows fears and panic in the hearts of people, knocking them off their feet and dragging them ruthlessly across the ground. This is it? This is what Jean warned you about. The wrath of the god is upon us. The governors try to flee the square, darting down back alleys, trampling one another. For you, there is nowhere to run. Only the trunk of the silver tree offers some protection. So you rush to the white trunk as fast as you can. The calamity is not approach the roots of the sacred tree, but away from the trunk that the by fury comes crashing down upon the heretic. The war is turned upside down like a kaleidoscope, shaking by a massive hand. Guys, what's a kaleidoscope? I actually don't know, so if anyone in the comments can tell me, I would really appreciate it. I will probably also have to search this, because like in the first chapter we also do something with a kaleidoscope. I don't know what that is. For several seconds everything blends together. You fall flat on your back. A cloud of dust slowly settles upon the square. After the dust comes the leaves. Thousands and thousands of leaves shed by the silver tree. They cover the corpses of the truly dead like a pale white shroud. My God, this scene sounds so gruesome. The entire square grows at the bodies of those yet to be reborn, dissolving to nothingness. There are so many that the light stings your eyes, even through the thick dust that still hangs over all. Just how many people met the death today? All the buildings around you lie in ruins. Only the temple of the silver tree remains untouched. Your fellow inquisitors stand silently, staring at the aftermath of the battle. Some cannot look away from the bloodstains of their weapons, while others examine at the temple, unable to believe it's all over. You address them. Everything you did today, you did for a reason. You have protected the faith, and the twins are protecting you in turn. Leonard the heretics no more. The new faith has been purged from Minnesota. The Inquisitor blessed themselves with the signs of the twins. You do not see Jean among the ranks. Where is she? Guys! Wow, actually, something insane that just happens is that normally what happens is, I don't think I have ever taken that choice, but most of the time, like if you're not able to resolve the problem or you resolve it in a different way, the temple collapses. But the temple didn't collapse this time. Like, I don't know why it collapses this, but it's crazy. It actually stays standing. I mean, it was heavy what we decided to do. Fall of the new faith. Old faith. Yeah, it's old faiths. Oh no, fall of the new faith. It's about to fall. Discontent and all nobility are almost empowered too. No common folk, no followers of the common folk. Yeah, we're not getting the common people. We got like a lot of nobles. We have some trust from the clergy. -3 to the revolts is good though. Like, this is good. This is heavy. We're about to win. No common folk. A farewell to Jean. This event's a consequence of your previous actions. Jean didn't die and wasn't buried, and I'm part of the priest. Okay. Jean stumbles away from the square and head towards the base of the silver tree. You follow her. You can guess where she is, where she's going. You can carefully enter the familiar growth formed by the gigantic root. Jean is there on her knees, tears streaming down by her cheeks. Her hands are on the bark of the tree as she prays. She does not notice you. We're reading all this, like I said, guys, we're reading every choice. The twins themselves have recognized Leonard as the rightful patriarch. Jane has no choice but to humbly accept her will. Jane can become a new believer. That's a theology 20. But wow. And we have to be a rebel. Congratulate Jeannie. You have defended the true faith, so why is she crying? Righteous, okay. Try to take Jean into custody. The rebel... The twins themselves have recognized Leonard, and to Jean has no choice but to humble. You cannot allow her to remain at large. Try to take Jean into custody. You cannot allow her to. You cannot allow her to her remain at large. Rebel, Jean defeated, through dead. Share Jean's sorrow. Defender of the Empire, Jean doomed for sin. It is true that you defied your priestly lot and took up arms, but you did it to defend the faith. Yeah, that's what we're hoping. Console Jean. Jean 3 or defeated, the defender of justice, willpower -5. Jean righteous. Jean did everything she could for the sake of the old faith. What happened is not her fault. She must not lose the faith. Lee, you have nothing more to tell her. No. Jean also had my back in all this, and honestly, in the in this path that we took when we betrayed Master Ulrich, Jean was the one who still wanted to be by our side. Shared, of course, we're changed the sorrow for all of this. It is our path to take now. You take a step forward, the leaves rust, though. Jean turns around. Oh, it's you, Alexandros. I'm sorry, I couldn't stay there any longer. She hurriedly wipes away the tears. Jean has been strong and stalwart forward for as long as you can remember. But now you cannot look at her without pity. Her cassock's in tatters, her hair is metal, and her face is red and puffy from crying. The silver pendant of the twin lies on the ground beside her, cast away. Of all the people you know, she's most deserving of the twins' mercy and bliss in the hereafter. But despite your good intentions, you have transgender against your lot. The twins know no mercy. You pick up the encircled cross and carefully hand it to Jean. To Jeannie, she grimaces in despair when she sees it, but still accepts the sacred symbol. I know I shouldn't show weakness. Our fight isn't over yet. We need to see it through the very end. Jean is wrong. As an Inquisitor, her work here is done. She has already done more than anyone could have ever asked of her. Whether or not she will continue down this path is for her to decide. Tears begin streaming down her cheeks. Again, you embrace her, stroking her hair softly. Jean buries her face in your chest. You hold her until she stops crying. Thank you for being here for me, and forgive me. If you can, I can't go with you. All of this, I just can't. We ended up alone, but the encircled cross drops from her hand. Jean's shoulders begin to shake again. There is no sound, only silent sobs. I forced them all into sin. I was wrong. There had to be another way. You weren't. I was also to blame on this. It wasn't your fault. You wipe away her tears. If she was wrong, then you were wrong too. But you have no choice. We did have a choice. I did. But the old faith and the new faith, there will always be struggling against each other. Jean nods, then suddenly she grabs at your hand. Then maybe we don't have to do anything else, Alexandros. We've done everything we can do already, both of us. We can just stay here. You sigh bitterly. No, you cannot stay here. Suddenly you withdraw from her grasp. It is time to go. You have not reached the end of your path yet. And Isolde needs to be safe. This is your duty. But Jean's duty is done. She lowers her gaze. Very well. Have it your way, Alexandros. Go on then, and good luck. You have no need for long. The twins are with you still. You leave the quiet grotto and return to the square. Would you ever see Jean again? Or was this your final meeting? A visible anxious Capitan Agorenin finds you in the square. Inquisitor Alexandros, I found you. Urgent report. The people of Anisode are moving to the Empire Square. It's next to the Chancelier. Sophia, the leader of the Revolt, wants to address the people at the building. You tell the Captain to muster your forces. You have to be there. Understood. And what about Inquisitor Jeannie? You look at the shining pillar. Her service to the twins have come to an end. Oh my god! Why is this hitting me, man? For those ones who don't know, the Path of the Priest, like I play this game, and of all the lots, the Path of the Priest is my favorite. It's so emotional. It's like I feel so connected somehow to it, to learn about the twins and the lore of the game, you know. And Jeannie is literally one, if not my favorite character in the series, in the entire thing. There's a lot of good characters in this, but like even though she believes in the old fate and it's like stubborn about it, just the relationship with her is so beautiful. Also, I for those ones who don't know, I hate Sophia. I hate Sophia. I don't hate her as a character. I think she's really well written, but like I hate her character. I hate who she is in the game at the end. And I understand a lot of people can say, well, I mean, dude, you have to understand what she went through. Yes, I understand, but she took it to another level of destroying the entire city. The sun is setting. The blood-red sky quivers in the hot smoke from the fires raging through the city. You cannot help but recall a passage from the lives of the twins, one of the many pages Mother used to quote when you were a child, and the elders say, "Lo, I have cast a flame into the war, and I shall guard it until it begins to blaze." Could this passage be referring to today? You lead your followers to Empire Square. You walk around rubble, past abandoned carriages and unfinished barricades. There have clearly been clashes here recently. The dust of the departed is still rising into the sky. Thousands fill the square before the Chancellery. Well, over half the commoners of Anisode. The Chancellery has been under rebel control since noon. All Imperial officers either fled or were torn apart by the mob. Scraps of rumors and gossip reach your ears as you move closer. Do you hear what happened at the Great Tree? It's the Inquisitors. They just started slaughtering folks. They grabbed them swords of theirs and started killing unarmed people. Leonard's procession made it into the temple. There was a sign from the twins. All allies. The twins got angry and destroyed them all under the tree. The temple's gone, I tell you. Gone for good. The crowd is on edge. Any dispute could explode into a row. A voice from the Chancellor's there calls from another people's score. The mob turns as one. Several lost straws. Revolts drag a handful of well-dressed nobles on the steps and force them into their knees. The leader of the executioner is a preacher with a mane of unkempt hair and the weird eyes of a lunatic. Oh, you're a preacher, I see. Alright. Father Fuat. The younger he speaks through us. He does. He gave us the power of his law. The power to punish our enemies, to execute them. Anyone who stands in our way, it's an enemy of the twins themselves. People, it's time to judge these enemies of the simple folk. What is your sentence? The mob rose so loudly the square shakes. Dead! Through dead! The lost straw hat rebels ready their guns. One of the captains gets to his feet and speaks out defiantly. Frieric El Laverius. You dare call this pathetic freak show a people's score? You don't have the power you'll never have. And you never will. You think you can will the law of the twins. Bah! We'll come back and we'll make you pay. The aged nobleman's last words are drowned out by a thunderous volley of gunfire. One by one, the nobles collapse. Their body pierced by bullets, they remain where they fall. The mob grasps in amazement. There can be no doubt the people's scores have the power to mete out through death at will. This is what will happen to anyone who dares to oppose us. All hail the Revolt! All hail our leader! All hail Sophia! Sophia's gonna lead us. She's gonna fend up the Legion. She's gonna bring justice. First to Anisote, then to the whole Empire. She's gonna tear down the old ways and wipe all them tyrants and nobles from the face of the war. The mob explores into an ecstatic chant. They shout one war over and over again. Sophia! Sophia! The enormous Struble looks quietly eager to see the face of his leaders. Unite the rebels around Sophia. You give Sophia your full support so she can unite and lead the people. Sophia leading the revolt. Take control of the revolt. You should be the one to lead the revolt, not Sophia. Okay, so this is an option where we take control. Minus will? Honestly! Destroy their morale. Maybe? You know, maybe we do break it. Because they will get like more revolt, I think, and I don't want that. We will lose troops, but I don't want to lose troops though. I don't know. Maybe it's fine. Maybe we could break them. Because that will put the revolt at 0. You give Sophia your full support. She can unite and lead the people. You should be the one to lead the rebels, not Sophia. You order your men to break up the mob so the rebels cannot unify the people under the banner. Destroy their morale. Manipulation 18. Oh my god, man. That's a lot of manipulation. So one of those must be true. Sophia executed or Sophia captive. You have eliminated Sophia. Now you will spread the war and watch the mob tear itself apart. Wait, she can die before the end? That's insane. I didn't know that. I know Sophia could be killed before. It says Sophia executed. So she can die before the last chapter. Overthrow Sophia. Alright, we're breaking up the mob. Order 1, Power 1, Revolt 2, Truce 1. We'll get 3 clergy. That's, yeah, we'll do this. If Sophia managed to unite the mob around her leadership, the revolt will consume the entire city. You cannot let that happen. If there's ever a time to strike, it is now. Sophia has not shown up yet. You seize the moment and command all your forces to begin. I'll now tom the square. Your troops smash into the human sea in front of the Chancellery, hurling people aside and hacking through the throat as they advance. As you command them, you shout at the mob of your lungs. Leave the streets, go home, and you'll be spared. Whoever stays here will face our blaze. The rebellion rabble did not see the attacking coming. Your forces are resilient and the crowd panics. The rebels have no choice but to flee. Dozens of people fall to the ground in the Milanese justing throne, only to be trampled by the fleeing horde. Blood runs down the cobblestones. The corpses of those killed dissipate in shimmering mist. Before long, your men control the blood-spattered square. They celebrate their victory with joyous cries, but a voice simmering with rage soon cuts through the air from the direction of the Chancellery stairs. The lost draw. Ready, aim, fire! Rebel squads dash at the Chancellery, firearms in hand. The volleys come in quick succession. A hail of bullets hit the square, sparing no one from either side. Commoners trying to escape die along with your soldiers. Crap. You are losing men. The lost draw position is too strong here. You cannot advance to on the Chancellery in the face of their gunfire. Out of option, you order a retreat. You breathe a sigh of relief once the last ones of your men have left the square. The deed is done. You lost too many men, and Sophia is still running amok. but you still manage to deal a surrounding blow against the Revolt and shatter the rebels' morale. The news that you disperse the mob and Empire Square spread through across the city like wildfire. The nobility and all fake clergy celebrate this victory, more eager than ever to keep a fighting by your side. A report soon arrives from the scouts at the gate. The Legion is only a few hours away. The final battle is drawing near. Will the outcome of the revolt be decided in combat, or is there a peaceful solution? It all depends on the actions you take in the coming hours. I have no idea if we're doing military or peaceful choice. I'm just trying to make it to the very end. I am not doing no metagaming for this. I'm literally just trying to make it to the actual end game, when and survive the entire thing. Troops 1. Okay, we got nobles and clergy at 1. Troops and common people are 0 and 1. So this is looking pretty gruesome. But the nobles support us still. And we have indisputable, and then clergy completely is behind us. Alright, we still have 10 willpower, but our willpower is on the low side. Okay. The final hour. This event's consequence of pure action. The final hour is mere moments from midnight. The glow of the shining pillars barely visible, behind the crimson clouds coming in from the north. But the darkness hangs about the cities, despite by countless light. Crowds of people holding torches, stakes burning in the squares, houses in flames. The glow of the fires can also be seen from beyond the city wall. The Legion marches down the road, inexorable, approaching the gate of a city in the throes of rebellion. The final battle draws near. All the troops still loyal to the Overseer and the Empire are flocking to the ruins of Charmin Olinas. Palace where you have established your base. You used to play here as a child, but now it serves as a base of operations for the fight against the insurgents. Armored nobles assemble into squadrons. Some hastily armed commoners who do not trust the rebels have agreed to follow them. The priests who have sided with you are preparing to appeal to the insurgents and exhort them to lay down their arms in the name of the twins. The insurgents have gained a foothold by the city gate, and preparations are in full swing at their camp as well. Their fate will be decided soon. Will they win their freedom or endure brutal retribution for violating the sacred order of the Empire? There is almost no time left, just enough for one last attempt to tip the scales in your favor. Will you spend this final hour appealing to one of your allies for help? Or would it be wiser to wait and muster your forces for the final battle? Do you plan to crush the rebel by force or persuade the insurgents to lay down their arms voluntarily? The fate and Iso is in your hands. You know what? Let's look at what we need for the victory. Yeah, now let's look at what we need. Dude, we literally need some common folk. Like, this is bad. This is really bad for us. Like, if we don't get common folk, I don't know what's gonna happen. But this is not a good thing. Let's ask for reinforcements. It's fine. Let's just ask for reinforcements. The Arnian nobleman will certainly agree to help you and give you troops. Doris Sutton should dread one of this. Doris Sutton reconcile, or at least he has to friendship with me. Go see Elborn. Ask your family for help. Yeah, nah. Let's just ask Sutton for reinforcements. We're gonna have three, because we're gonna have 3 troops, 3 clergies, 3 noblemen. We just have to find a way to convince one common folk. You have too many soldiers under your command, but they may still not be enough to deal with the rebellion horde. Your troops need to be reinforced with seasoned warriors who have trained for combat from an early age. Fortunately, you have managed to form an unexpected alliance over the course of the day. You head for the Silver District, where the noble militia is assembling under the command of Sarota. The Argnian priestly gives his officers the last of his orders. You sense anxiety in his imperious voice. Despite his pride, not even Otto knows how this night will end. Brante, what are you doing here? I thought you'd be preparing your troops for the attack. You bow your head and explain to the Argnian commander that you have come seeking aid. Could he have some of the noble cavalry to assist you? Otto looks down his nose at you. I knew you wouldn't get far without me, Brante. Under ordinary circumstances, I wouldn't place a single noble warrior under the command of a human with one foot still in the gutter, but we are on the same side today. I'll send a squad of horsemen to join you. You owe me, Brante. Don't let my goodwill go to waste. You gallop back to your camp, followed by 50 raiders clad in shining armor. Reveilled commoners scattering fear at the sight of you. Midnight strikes. You can hear the menacing threats of the Legion outside the city walls. The time has come. You order your troops to assemble and prepare to head to the gate. Huh. Okay. The battle for Anisote is a consequence of your previous actions. Wait. So there's an event, guys, that happens? I don't know why he jumped it. I'm not upset about it. It's a hard event, but is it because I finished the revolt too early? And I massacred like a lot of people earlier? Like, we're already in the Battle of Anisote. I thought there was gonna be like one more event. The Dark Boy beyond the walls of Anisote is lit by hundreds of lights. Heavy boots tread the soil, armor clanks, halberd gleams, drums beat livery and march. Led by the glows of the torches, the Magran legions approaches the city wall. The event that I'm talking about, for those ones who don't know, it's an event that has to do with your family. I have no idea why I didn't happen, but you guys have, like, you guys see this, the families in the city? If you do this, supposedly later on, you have to save your family. That's an event to save your family right before the end, but you kind of skip it, and I do not know why. Like I said, I'm not upset about it. I'm just really curious. Led by the glove torches, the Magran Legion approaches the city walls. Gaius Tempest himself leads the Legion. It is the Overseer's duty to crush the revolt this petty night and pacify the city before news of the incident spreads through the Empire. If the Overseer's hesitation allows the revolt to last even a few days, it could jeopardize not only his position, but even the fate of the entire province that has been entrusted to him. An entire city rebelling against imperial rule. Nothing like this has happened for generations. The people of Anisote trembling in fear before the punishments that will befall them if the Legion wins. You have done your utmost to crush the revolt on the streets. Oh, we've been doing good at crushing them. We've been keeping them down. The crowds in the squares have been dispersed. The riots and fires have stopped. So maybe if we eliminate it too early, everyone's just gone. The armed commoners clamoring for freedom as the sun set have now scattered and locked themselves in their homes. Yup, but the main forces of the revolt have not been defeated yet. There are still many insurgents who are ready to fight to the true death for their cause. Yeah, I know. The soldiers of the lost straw, reckless conspirators and dangerous fighters taught by Sophia to struggle against the old order until the bitter end. Zealous new believers who would rather face execution than betray their faith. Burn nobles and former Legion soldiers who have joined the revolt in violation of their oath of loyalty to the Empire. They know there will be no mercy for them, so they have nothing to lose. The remaining rebel forces have gathered at a fortified base by the city gate. The rebels have surrounded it with barricades, preparing to repel an attack from either side. The soldiers of the revolt, some armed with spear and axes, some with firearms, and some with simple rocks, hastily assemble atop the walls. The rest of the city no longer supports them. but the revolt has not been crushed yet. The Legion gets into formation in front of the gate, ready to begin the assault as soon as their commander gives the order. The defenders atop the walls respond by raising their firearms. A herald from Gaius Tempest comes forward. As stopping Mer steps from the gate, he loudly proclaims the overseer's demands. My subjects, lay down your arms this instant and open the gate. I know that you have been deceived by the insurgents. You have my word as an Archnean ruler that I will spare anyone who hates the Legion and turns over the leaders of the revolt. Should you disobey this order from your lawful ruler, none of you will escape disgrace, execution, and eternal torment at the foot of the shining pillar. The Legion herald proudly lifts his head, awaiting the rebels' decision. You cast a quick glance at your allies. No! The time for preparing has ended. Everything depends on the size of your army and the balancing the city between the forces. You have managed to win over and those you have antagonized. The next hour will determine your place in history. What? I don't have support of the common folk. No! Okay. The revolt's defeated. Force the rebels to surrender the city. Get rid of Sophia. Riot. You cannot defeat the rebels. Your only choice is to lash an attack and fight until your last breath. Flee the city. Dark times, dark times. The revolt's defeated. The revolt's defeated. The surrender of the revolt. The revolt's defeated. You know what? We did the best we could. We did the best we could, guys. No, we die in battle. Shield springs out from the walls and Gaius Tempest herald from his horse. The rebels have responded to Overseer's demands. Trumpet blare, the Legion's about to attack. Legion, charge, take the city! But the rebels' defenses are too secure. Not even the Legion can take the city in a single assault. The offensive would repel without fail. Aniso is in for a lengthy sight. The revolt will continue to fester within his walls until the city rots from the inside. Disturbances will break out over the province and spread to the rest of the empire. You cannot let that happen. It is now or never. The time has come for you to strike at the rebels from winning the city. But you have not managed to gather sufficient force and win the city over to your side. The troops that are still loyal to you will not be enough to defeat the insurgents. Your soldier cities as plainly as you do. As you lead your small squad through the empty streets, you contemplate your plan of attack. The walls of the city, built attacking the days of Charmin Elites, are still too strong. The insurgents have gained a foothold by the gate. Under the cover of gunfire, they will be able to thwart the Legion offensive for quite some time. Your only chance to emerge victorious this night is to make your way to the gate. You will do what you can, even if your plan is doomed. Your watchman reports that the rebels' forces have been split in two. One squad will repair the Legion's attack from the wall above the gate. The other will guard the gate from the rear. Before the battle begins, you address your allies. You cannot promise them victory or glory. You cannot even promise that they will come back alive. But it is their sworn duty to do everything in their power to help the Legion free the city. They respond with grim silence, but no one dares to question your orders. Your army reaches the square by the city. Okay, the rebel camp is encircled by a narrow barricade. Behind them are arrows of musket and spears all aimed at you. A battle is already raging on the walls. The Legion soldiers climb siege ladder. You need a hell of bullets, rocks, and arrows. Once they finally clamber to the top, they are met by the blaze of bloodthirst air surgeons. The rebels fend off one way after another. In a desperate melee, all over the walls, the bodies of slain Imperial soldiers shimmer into oblivion as they fall. More and more gunshots are fired. The Legion assault is gradually begin repel. You must attack, at least attempt to reach the gate. You will leave your unit forward charging straight at the enemy camp. Like a guiding star, the shining pillar gleams through the dark, heavy clouds. You grip the Imperial banner firmly and order your men to attack. Your squad approaches the insurgent camp. Reinforcements rush to the barricades. Them is the enemy. They are attacking from the rear. Hold the line. At least 100 musket bearers are pointed at you. A volley of gunfire rings out. Entire rows of soldiers fall. But you have led these men here, and you will lead them till the very end. You raise the banner high above your head. The twins are watching, dead to the rebels. You run forward, but when you glance over your shoulder, you see your allies fleeing one after another. Terrified by the endless hail of bullets, you grit your teeth and carry on, trying desperately to reach the barricade. A gunshot sharp pain your thigh. You fall to your knees. You watch helplessly as the superior forces of the insurgent hunt down the rest of your men. Brante has been captured. We got Brante. Take him away to be executed. Strong arm grabs you. You are surrounded by a horde of furious blood, Spartalastra fighters. You're finished, Brante. Execute him. Quick, put him to trial. The insurgent hastily drags you to their camp. The gunmen raise their weapons. People of Anisote, before you is an enemy of your freedom. Alexandris Brante, what is your verdict? Breaking through the dark, heavy clouds, the soft gleam of the shining pillar envelops you. You think back on the years gone by, all the difficult choices you had to make, all the actions that led you here. Your destiny has been fulfilled. We sentence him to true death. A gunshot. You hit towards a binding light. All nobility in power, fall of the new Fae, the Order, and Well of Magra. And the Revolt found a way to keep fighting. Good for you guys. We died! No! That's the end, guys. Let's through dead. There's a damn freaking core, love the core. See, both sides of the conflict fail as they strode this sweep across the Empire. Dark times. No, their outcome was cheap. Neither side succeeds. Chaos and disorder spreads all over the Empire. That sounds really bad. Well, it is our ending. Experience true death and leave the realm of mortals forever. Your early life is over. You leave the war forever and face the judgment of the twins.
Neither side could overcome the other. The fire of the revolt could not be extinguished.
Wow.
The province, and then the whole empire, fell on troubled times.
I don't think I have ever get this ending before. Dark times. Well, let's see what the let's see what the ending is. Outcome of the revolt. When the moment of truth came, there was no soul in Anisote's street will enough to spearhead the raging ball. The opposing factions shouldn't reach a stalemate in which neither side could prevail completely. Yeah. Anisote refused to surrender, but after a prolonged siege, Gaius Tempest finally broke the city's defenses, and the Legion entered the rebellious city of Anisote. The insurgents fled, the mobs disappeared from the squares and the streets. The leaders of the revolt were hanged, but the city's capture made even more trouble for the overseer. The unrest was beaten down, but not suppressed completely. New riots followed one by one, as the common folk, the new Fae priests, and many nobles of the mantle continued to wage a desperate struggle against the old authorities. Gaius Tempest responded to the seething rebellion with more executions and threats, but dissent continued to grow. As the unrest in the city smoldered, the rest of the empire eventually caught wind of the Anisote revolt. Nearby migrant towns and villages saw their first riots soon after. Chaos began to spread across the empire. The empire responded to this enduring turmoil with ruthless action, but even after several villages and towns were drowned in blood, the riots only intensified. The dominance of the emperor and his dynasty began to wane. Power struggles broke out between the powerful nobles in the capital. Then a shocking event shocked the empire of his court. Emperor Uthard II was found dead in his palace, never to be reborn. Wow! His heirs, Gerion and Flavius, both disappeared without trace. With no one to take the throne, the noble dynasties accused one another of plotting against the Tempest rulers. Feuds and internecine strife became commonplace, and so began an age of anarchy, a time of massacre and riots, conflict and bloodshed, chaos and unrest. There were no winners in this war of all against all, only survivals. The empire entered a dark and terrible age. Jesus! Wow! Wow, that is an ending. So everyone got this. Everything got. The war got destroyed. Power. The power struggle in the province was over, and Archduke Miladides and the old entry had prevailed. Well versed in all manner of plots and schemes, the Archduke secured himself in his castle and remained aloof from the events of the revolt until the empire grasp on the province grew weak. As chaos followed in the wake of the revolt, the Archduke and his loyal followers among the oldest Archnean dynasties in Magra confront the overseer over the Anisoda revolt and the many other ordeals the province have endured over the past few years. With the last of his authority gone, Gaius Tempest had no choice but to return to oversee his title to the Milesian dynasty. I don't even think it matters. The old elite gentry soon restored the rule of ancient tradition in Magra. They flanked the imperial law and returned the province to the days of yore, when the noble dynasty ruled their domains as they saw fit. Everyone in Magra knows that the new faith is a dangerous heresy that must be wiped from the face of the war. Blessed by all the people of the province, the Order of the Inquisition sets out to eradicate every last follower of Fodi's teachings. The pyres of the Inquisitions are soon burning in countless towns and villages, incinerated the remains of the heretic doctrine. Although in Magra, the new faith soon became illegal through the empire. The crisis of the past few years have annihilated the province's former prosperity. The fertile fields have been scorched, the mines have been abandoned, the factories stand idle, with no one to work in them. The looming threat of hunger and poverty drives the people to back-breaking labor and the tried and true ways of their ancestors. Commoners fled the cities in droves and flocked the villages and towns, hoping to squeeze some paltry nourishment from the inhospitable migrant soil. The province is on the verge of starvation and turmoil. After years of unrest and strife, the people have grown harsh and bitter. The rebellion survives in the province's smaller villages and towns. Now and again it manifests itself as petty acts of violence and insubordination. As respect for imperial law dwindled, gangs of criminals began to form and grow in power. Although the city of Anisoda and the rest of Magra are mostly calm now, the new age has brought neither order nor peace. Turmoil still simmers beneath the surface, ready to spill out onto the streets and the slight provocations. For many years after the revolt in Anisoda, the people of the empire told the tale how the elder twin himself visited the mortal world once again. He donned the guise of common mortal to seek out the truth of his own creation and settle a dispute with the younger. But no one helped him find the answer he sought. So if you... Okay, so I will explain this. If you live at the end of the chapter, like you win the war, you get one final chapter, like for those like slightly spoiler alert, where you get to talk to the younger. You get to meet the younger, and he asks you a question and you can give her your answer. But because I die, I guess no one was able to help him out. I'm impressed. I thought Nathan would probably have gave him an answer, but I guess he never got to meet with Nathan either. And so as the legend goes, the elder twin returned to the shining pillar, never to descend to the mortal realm again. Yeah, everything is messed up. What became of Dorius Dotun? The Arnian commander fought with all his might against the rebellious rabble he so despised, yet even a skilled swordsman such as he was doomed when confronted with a city-wide uprising. The Hawk the Arcane was taken prisoner by the enraged mob, and so his life was forfeit. He spent his final moments in inconceivable agony. The rebels did not permit him to die, till his spirit and body were completely and utterly broken. Long after the once invincible Dorius Dotun was no more, the course of the mighty Arnian remained chained to the Anisodi Gate. For those ones who don't know, Otton and Sophia are like mortal enemies. Honestly, Otton makes a lot of enemies. Yeah, he's not a good guy. What became of Ulrich? We kill him. You found the inner strength to reject Ulrich's heresy. The man who betrayed the order of the Inquisition met his end by your hand. With Ulrich dead, his sacrilege heresy perished along with him. Yeah. What became of Augustine Alborn? The highest judge in Magra, Augustine Alborn, was killed in a duel with Dorius Dotun. I'm gonna check how many people died. Augustine... I wanna see how many people die. Like, before everyone's telling me who died. Augustine, Ulrich, Cassius, Leonard, Mark... The life of Cyril Bourne ended before the fight for Anisode had become to a definite conclusion. His legacy soon vanished into oblivion. What became of Father Leonard? Abbot Leonard had hoped to become the first patriarch elected by the people, but this was not meant to be. The leader of the new faith met his end beneath the ruins of the very temple that had been entrusted to his care. He is remembered as a priest who provoked the wrath of the twins themselves and reduced the Empire Greatest holy place to rubble. What became of Tomas? By the time the revolt had set Anisode ablaze, Tomas Guerrero was already living a new life with his family far from the city. He seemed as thought he could finally enjoy a peaceful life. Well, you made it, Tomas. You made it. But a few months later, the rebellion reached the sleepy village where your friend and his wife had put down roots. A horde of rebels approached the village where they lived. What? And most of the villagers joined them, eager to loot and pillage their own very community. Tomas fought desperate for his life and livelihood, but he was torn limb from limb by his former neighbors. Wow. Okay, everyone's just dying. No, what became of Jeannie? Jean did her duty, but in doing so, she defied her lot, and the burden of that guilt broke her. Jean abandoned the priesthood. She spent the rest of her life in voluntary exile, waiting for the end and the twins' forced judgment. Jean is remembered as a great martyr who sacrificed her soul so that many more might be spared. Okay, at least she didn't die by the people, you know, he retired and tried to live happy even though she was depressed. She didn't got killed, murdered by everyone. What became of Sophia? Sophia suffered a crushing defeat. Really? But she evaded capture, just as the Legion took over Anisode. She snuck out of the city in secret. The Inner Revolt fled Magra along with a handful of her most loyal supporters, but she kept on fighting. Years later, Sophia sparked a new revolt among the farmers of the Empire's northern province. This time, however, the Legion was more sweet and ruthless. Dozens of villages in the north were reduced to ash. Sophia was captured and brought to Eterna for a public hanging in the capital's main square. No execution before or since has amazed such a crowd. They say that Sophia's last words were furious, desperate war. War to the end! Some remember her forever as a great freedom fighter who struggled for the good of the common folk. Others call her a vengeful murderer who betrayed the entire empire. Yeah, she's pretty much both. She liberated everybody, so in a way she's the savior of the common people who wanted to fight for their freedoms. But in doing so, she betrays the entire law and is considered like the biggest terrorist of all time in the game. What became of the Brante? Yeah, what did became like out of all of us? You defended the family home from the frenzied mob. Thanks to your effort, the Brante family survived the dreadful night that followed. But this challenge was only the first of many. The Brantes have to survive in the besieged city and fend off more attacks of the family stay until the Legion finally returned to Anisode. I mean, I guess it's because I took the revolt points so low that they never attacked my house. The Brantes have to survive in the besieged city and fend off more attacks on the family stay until the Legion. The family never sided with the revolt, and so they were spared the overseer's ire. Once the rebellion was suppressed, they sought to return to their old life. But the city continued to simmer with unrest, and the family will never find peace until the storm ends. Unable to try, the Brantes continued to fight tooth and nail just to survive. Okay. After the Imperial forces enter, Robert Brante. After the Seer entered the city, Robert Brante did his best to resume his duty to the prefecture. But the quiet days of the past were over. Instead of resolving disputes and dispensing justice, your father had to fight tooth and nail against the unrest simmering beneath the surface of the city. After the terrible events of the revolt, his views changed, and he abandoned his long-cherished goal of attaining more freedom for the common folk. Oh. Your father became a resolute supporter of uncompromising rule and tried in vain to restore law and order in the province until he breathed his last. A resolute supporter. Each subsequent riot in Isode was inevitable repressed, but it was during one of these disturbances that your father met his final death. The frenzied mob branded Robert Brante an enemy of freedom and tore him limb from limb in accordance with the verdict of people's court. Yeah, oh my god. What became of Lydia Brante? Lydia Brante's health had become very delicate over the years. The new challenges the family had to face amid the growing unrest were a staggering blow from which she never recovered. Your father did everything he could to preserve Lydia's life, but his efforts were in vain. She soon passed away quietly and meekly in her bed. In her last moment, Lydia prayed to the twins. She had led a righteous life, and she departed for the twins' final judgment without fear. Okay, you know what? Fair. She was already sick, so, not that bad. What became of Stefan Brante? In a bid to restore law and order in his home city, Stefan just joined Gaius Tempest forces. To your elder brothers, the unrest and riots were an opportunity to convert his lifelong ambitions into honor status for his family. After your father was murdered by the rebels, Stefan's zeal only grew. He continued to repress riots as they broke out and personally commanded the overseer forces on a punitive mission through Magra. For the rest of his days, Stefan kept fighting the rebellion with all his might, but his life ended before his work was done. Alright, that's awesome. What became of Gloria? Gloria didn't take the failure of the revolt well. Unbeknownst to the rest of the family, she continued to aid what remained of the rebellion. Your sister dedicated herself to stoking the simmering coals of unrest in the city and uniting the rebellion's desperate romance. Every poem and pamphlet she wrote quickly spread through Anisode. But in the end, she was robbed of her chance to see the fruits of her labor. The secret chancellery eventually caught wind of the rebellious poet. Gloria was snatched off the street and sent to the imperial dungeon. She was never seen again. Her poetry, however, continued to roam free, inspiring the common folk to fight for their freedom. Oh my god. What became of Nathan Brante? Oh my god, look at Nathan! He actually looks better! Nathan left Anisode with your blessings. Inexplicably managing to escape the city in the middle of the revolt, he then set out on a lengthy journey across the empire. He emerged and escaped from every danger and hardship he encountered during his travel. He was as though the twins themselves were watching over him. Yes! One day, after months of wandering the world as a pilgrim, Nathan suddenly returned to Anisode. Your brother walked to the silver tree where he spoke to the people. He told him about how he had met the elder twin himself, who had descended from on high to walk the world once more. Nathan confessed all his transgressions and sins to him, knowing full well that he would find no mercy only eternal torment at the foot of the pillar. To his surprise, the elder listened to him with tears in his eyes. Filled with compassion for his own creation, he forgave Nathan for all the evils he had done. After his sermon, followers started flocking to Nathan's side. In time, they came to call themselves the Elder's Witness. Their teachings began to make their way across the empire. To this day, Nathan's disciples still spread to this world. The twin gods have learned forgiveness. That's insane. Wait, that is amazing. Oh my god. Okay, Nathan, technically Nathan, Lydia, Lydia and Jeannie survived. A lot of people did die, sadly, you know, but I don't know. I mean, even with our dead, it doesn't feel like the worst. What became of Gregor Brante? Oh, okay. Not even in the afterlife did Gregor Brante see the realization of his great dream. His descendants failed to have the Brante name noble by the sword. The Brante bloodline was denied his chance to become one of the empire's more seminary dynasties. I mean, half of the family's gone, man. The blood tie shared by Gregor Brante would never have another chance at immortality. Yeah, no, the war is messed up. The hour of your death has come. Your soul has left your body, never to return. You are taken to the peak of the shining pillar. Every moment separates you more and more from the mortal realm. The link that once bowed to you is gone forever. You look up to see... Give me a minute, guys. I'm gonna check something real quick. Oh my... This chapter has been going for... We're almost done, but yeah, it's been going for quite a bit. You look up to see two divine faces watching you intently. The elder teen gazes upon you, full of sorrow and compassion. The younger examines dispassionately, seeing your every act and thought. You have ascended from the mortal realm. From here you are one step away from partaking in eternal bliss atop the peak of the shining pillar. But first you must be judged by them, just as every other soul born in this world has been judged since time immemorial. Only their judgment can decide whether you deserve to remain atop the peak or be hurled down the foot. You stand before the twins. Your very essence is laid bare before them. All the secrets of your inner self revealed in full. Your soul is like an open book to them, one that preserves the story of your entire life. You lie prostrate before the gods. The time has come to take responsibility for your mortal life. And the elder twin asks, are you thankful to the gods for the life you live? Yes. Your soul is filled with love for those who created you and gave you the gift of life. You are glad it's over. You refuse to submit to them. You feel no gratitude whatsoever to your creators. Your mortal life was yours and yours alone. You hate the war the twins created as well as your entire mortal life. You regretted it. You regret how you squandered the twins giving mortal of a life. You staunch accept everything that happened to you in the war twins created. Your life was your life. Your soul is filled with love for those who created you and gave you the gift of life. Yeah, it is. Which is why I dedicate my life to you. I am thankful. Then you hear your answer. Compassion and remorse fill the immense deep eyes of the elder twin. He turns to face his divine brother who returns his gaze with an expression of stern remorse. The elder twin asks once more, what was your life to you? Your life was struggle for your beliefs. You spend your life staunching enduring despair, hardship, and greed. You spend your life diligently doing your duty. Your life was focused on learning about the war and his truths. Your life was spent in service of others. In your life, you created something new, something the world had never seen before. Your life was dedicated to other people and your relationship with them. You changed them and they changed you. Your life was a struggle for your beliefs. Yeah, I mean, in a way, it kinda was a struggle. It was struggle because even though I was being dutiful, I kinda strayed up from the right path, and I came back later to it. The elder twin bows his head wearily, consider your response, but the stern visage of the younger already looms above you. Human by the name of Brante, what do you live for? There is nothing more important than living by your beliefs. You live for the sake of freedom, both yourself and for others. You saw shaped the war and bent it to your will. You yearn to, you live to make other people's lives better. You strove to gain better understanding of the twins and find your own path to them. More than anything else, you wanted to find happiness and joy for yourself, your family, and those around you. You yearned to do a great deed that would outlive you. Honestly, my fate. Yeah. The younger gaze lingers on your base, defenseless souls. The divine figure continues to his interrogation. What did you leave behind? What did we leave behind? That's a question. You blaze a trail for change that will long outlive you. You brought order to what redless and confused mortal realm. Not really. We didn't brought that. You believe in something and it changed the war. You provide for your family and bloodline and gave it a future. No. You have become an important part of the history of the Empire. We kinda did that. Your achievements will live on. You left no mark in the mortal realm. No, we did. We did. We did leave a big mark. But it wasn't the best mark. You blaze a trace for change that will long outlive you. Yeah, change? You believe in something and it changed the war. Home, legacy, achievement. Your achievements will live on. My achievement was what? Killing Ulrich because he tried to control the city, changing the taking away the Patriarch's Law, destroying the Old Faith, which could be considered blasphemous, saving my mother, keeping the family together, helping Nathan become a prophet. Honestly, we did pretty good on achievement. You have become an important part of the history of the Empire. Did we? We cannot die. Okay, it's either achievement or change, I'm thinking. We did a lot we did a lot because we couldn't make an outcome for the war. It wasn't an achievement per se, because an achievement is something that we managed to do, and I guess that we did some achievements, but I think change. I think we make a lot of change. Change? The younger twin now moves towards you with clear intent, poised to render his judgment, but the elder twin restrains his brother with a gesture. A divine voice fills you once again. Did your life make the war we made better and more perfect? No, it did not. Though through your will you managed to influence and improve the mortal war. Oh no, we did not. No mortal can ever improve the war. Only the twins have this power. Okay. It did not become better. You failed to change the fate of the war for the better. You left the mortal war a far more terrible place than it was before. I don't know if we left it in a far worse place than it was before, guys. Because, in all fairness, the war was pretty messed up already. Like, I mean, it became pretty gruesome and bloody, but that doesn't make it worse. It was already bad. That is not enough. That is not for you to judge. Okay, I like this. No mortal can ever improve the war. Only the twins have this power. I like this too. Became worse it became better. It did not become better. You failed to change the fate of the war for the better. We did, but we did end up saving people's lives too. Like, we were bad, but we also, we did good stuff too. I do not know. No mortal can ever improve the war. Only the twins have this power. Yeah, I'm gonna say I cannot be changed. Like, I didn't really change it, even though I tried my best, so only the twins have the power, yeah. The younger twin is silent, his eyes two swords piercing your souls. The elder twin speaks to you again, but you already know the question. The very same question that caused you so much suffering shortly before your true and final death. What determined your destiny? Your life has always been yours to live. You made your own destiny. Your path was charted for you by the people, the age, and the society which you live on. Destiny does not exist. Human life is an exercise in chance. It is not governed by any laws. Your destiny was forged by a power greater than your own will. Yeah. It's mostly what our character believes, and honestly, part of me does believe that too. But like, if it was my actual self, maybe I would say the war around me. Maybe this is like the most logical. But I think higher power's like also a right answer. It's one of these two. I will go with higher power. The twin gods exchange a glance, the last brief moments, and all eternity. Then the hand of the elder twins reaches out to you, glowing with light and warmth. The gods offer you an unprecedented opportunity to change your destiny, to rewrite the book of your life. Would you like to take a different path in life? Your life is over. You will face whatever awaits you with no regrets. You will return to the mortal war and live your life in a different way. So here, if you press yes, you can repeat episodes and go back and do different choices. So if you wanna play, like, make different paths and choices, you can prevent death. So we're not gonna put yes, even though I could press do this and do another episode. We're just gonna accept the choices that we have. So no, my life is over, and you reject the hand of the elder. The immense divine soulhood withdraws with sorrow. The younger twin step forwards, leaving you to face his loss alone. The twin judgment is nearing the end. Through death, the soul of a man named Brante lies prostrate at your feet. You have witnessed his entire life, knowing his every act, seeing his every thought. No other soul could ever walk the same path. So many difficult choices, so many emotions, so much pain. Another soul awaits your judgment. You know no mercy, nor does your brother. Every mortal must walk the path chosen for him to the very end. Those who abide by the precepts set for by you and your brother shall return to you and become part of you. Those who reject, you shall know the eternal suffering of oblivion. Where does the name Alexander Brante belong? Okay, let's look at our choices. This man shall know eternal bliss. This man shall be condemned to eternal suffering. Okay, so let me think where we should belong, because the twins did learn to forgive, in a way, the elder, but in all fairness, we stuck through our fate to the very end, the old fate. In doing so, we did things that it was not considered to be part of our lot. So because of that, I think that as sad as it is, we are not at the peak of the pillar because we betray our lot. Now, a lot of the things did dramatically change with our lives. We did a lot of good stuff, but because of the last choices that we did, because of how we as priests took the swords and tried to be soldiers against our Lord, because of my death and what happened afterwards, I did my best for Nathan, for Gloria, making her part of the family, which is a good thing. But I think overall, because I follow Master Ulrich, and I allow so many things bad to happen, if I was on my other playthrough, like, it would have been definitely this. And we did have a chance to, like, share sadness with Jeannie, but we took the wrong path with Master Ulrich. Now, we did, in a way, kill Ulrich before things became too out of hand, but by then we did a lot of mistakes. Mistakes that I don't think that my character deserves to, like, be condemned for, but we fought for our family, unite them, and then we gave Tomas a good life. We also helped Nathan, we helped our family, Tomas. We weren't super close with Jeannie and we didn't start a relationship, but we were there for her at the end, so that is good for the peak of the pillar. Listening to Ulrich, doing a lot of things in favor of the Inquisition's power, aka like persecuting a lot of people, taking arms on the church, Mm, it's half and half. I can't recall other things that I did that, I don't know, man. Alright, so I'm gonna put that I'm at the foot of the pillar of my character, like, because this is what I believe, but it can go either way. Because with everything I did, I don't know. But I will make a choice, so I think the foot of the pillar is where Alexandros Brante will go. This is not Alexandros Mendoza, this is not... I mean, yeah. This is not Alexandros MM. This is not GM Alexandros. This is Alexandros Brante. So let's just put the foot of the pillar. Have your soul be condemned to suffer at the foot of the pillar. The sword strikes, the blade mercilessly like the minuscule soul in twain. It shatters into a multitude of sparks. Each of these sparks was once a dream, a deed, a thought, a hope. The sparks down the foot of the shining pillar to the eternal darkness of not being, the lonely lie slowly extinguished. The man named Alexandros Brandt is no more. He has finally come to know true suffering. He has become nothing. And then pretty much we're just gonna get like everything that we did, you know. Oh my god. We've been recording for a while, but we got to the ending, guys. This is the real ending of the game. The last part, that's an ending, but that's an ending that's like, you know... That's like an earlier ending, special one, you know? Yeah, because I think we got this on the last part. And then, yeah, I'm pretty sure I got that. I hope I did. Anyway, oh my god, it's already 11. Oh my god. All right. Alright guys, we've been recording for a while, but that story, that game, fantastic. You can replay that game, you can take different paths. Sorry if I'm touching my forehead a lot, guys, it's really hot in the room. So yeah, summer's being killer. I did took a haircut, by the way. And for those ones who haven't yet, because I should have done that earlier in the video, if you guys like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have a channel and you put it in the comments, I'll subscribe. Like, if you subscribe, you have a channel, and you put in the comments, I will subscribe to your channel too. Like, I want to help and support everyone. Guys, this game is so emotional. It's so fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me in this journey. This is the actual final part, but I will consider doing more part of this. You guys let me know how much you like this series, and maybe in the future we could do the nobleman path or the common or the normal path, the common people, the freedom path, you know? I tend to like this path a lot because I like the idea of understanding the gods in a dystopia world, of why it is the way it is. Now, we could technically also redo the episode so we don't die, we get to talk to the elder guys, but I think that this ending ended up perfect. Yes, I didn't realize that in order to get the actual good ending, I need to like get all the requirements exactly the way they are. And if you miss one, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You don't have a chance. You only have a chance at the end to get one of the choices. But if you messed up, like the soldiers, the troops, the nobles, everything is gone. I could redo the final chapter too, but I think I'm gonna leave it the way it is. Because I didn't want to metagame as much. I already have played this game anyway, so I kind of already know how some things work. So I tried to like keep it as natural as possible. But yeah, guys, for my next series, I'm still thinking about it. I will have as a next series coming along. This is technically series number 4. because I wanted to be before before Ori and the Blind Forest. But I think that after this series, I'm gonna put another series from another platform. For those ones who, yeah, I think I can say it. I will because people do put bots on from Twitch and YouTube. So yeah, my next series is gonna be a series from Twitch that I already put. It's a short series, but yeah, it is gonna be my second series of Twitch because my first series already started on Saturday. But if you guys like it, please follow me on Twitch as well. I go by GM Alexander 777 as well. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me, guys. My favorite character in the entire series is Genie. My most hateable character is Sophia. I do hate her even more than Gregor Brante, which is crazy because I hate Gregor Brante too. There's a lot of characters who are pretty awful, but there's also a lot of characters who are really great. Most characters are really well written overall. And like I said, I think the reason why I like the priest pet the most is because I like the connection and the spirituality that it goes alongside with them. So yes. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for this amazing journey. You guys are an amazing audience, great adventures. So yeah, I will see you guys on the next time. Thank you so much.